He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Yesterday, I got clipped, which I love getting clipped. It was a good clip on the winning a division, right? It's like, all right, let's stop the blank and let's go win a division. And a little pushback on, is this really where our expectations are? And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, we haven't won anything. We haven't won one in an Olympiad, man. So, yeah, is it about Titletown and winning championships and winning playoff games? No, yeah, no doubt. I'm telling y'all, as I've looked at it, the easiest way to win a playoff game is to host a playoff game. And I know you could say, oh, Lambeau doesn't have the mystique and the record's like 5-6 over the last 11 games or 5-5, whatever it is. And those are all true points. I'm not going to argue that. But I'm going to tell you, from my perspective as a former player, it's a hell of a lot easier to win a home game than it is a road game. Don't care if we're playing in Jupiter, if we jump on a Artemis flight up to the moon, and we're going to go play the Bears up there because they got better land deal outside of Uranus. Yeah, that's where we're at. So I just believe that our goal, and it's always, we don't even the hat and T-shirts. We expect that. We ain't gotten it. So maybe we need to, I'm not saying lower our expectations, but in order to get to the goal that we're all looking for, maybe we got to start looking at building it brick by brick and not just thinking the wall's already built and we just go through the door. No, you got to build it. And that's what I was saying yesterday.
Okay, so, the clipping thing is always interesting.
No, I mean, listen, man, this is the job. I have no problem with it as long as it's contextualized properly, and this was. It's just fun to get the reaction because I thought it was pretty mundane. I'm always curious what AI clips. Like, I don't know.
Wait, is this AI doing this?
I think AI is doing some clipping for us.
No, this was old gel.
Oh, this is gel?
I did this
I thought
one,
AI.
yeah.
J.I.
I took this
Jesse
one.
Intelligence.
I took this one into my own hands.
I didn't even give you this with that. I was fine with it. Because that's what I believe. I mean, you can sometimes take things out of context. That was not. So I was fine with it. It'd be nice to win a division. I know in the Rodgers era we won the division a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan has not. He hadn't won a division.
That's true. All right, so let's back up here because I know Jesse's very eager to talk about Artemis II and its journey to the moon, but not onto the moon. But before that, let's go back to Mike McCarthy, your old ball coach. Well, you had Mike Sherman too, but Mike McCarthy. And what did he always tell you guys in terms of the journey to winning the Super Bowl? First, we don't talk about playoffs until we at least have 10 wins, right? That was one.
So we never should have talked about it last year.
True. Fair. Even at 9-3-1,
and that's
when
with
some
16 games instead of 17, which most of my career, all of my career was 16 games.
Yes, they never got to 10 wins, even though they were at 9-3-1, and certain members of the panel were feeling pretty good about their selections at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where we will be in less than a week. Then, 2, win the division. And generally speaking, when you win 10 games, you're in a really good position, especially if you win it before you get to the end of the season, you have 10 wins. You got a good shot at winning the division because, as Mike McCarthy always emphasized, that means you get a home game. Then, hey, let's get the number 1 seed. We got to play a fewer game than most people. Back then.
That doesn't matter in Green Bay. It matters everywhere else, but for whatever reason, it has not mattered in Green Bay.
We're actually better as the worst seed.
We stink as a 1 seed.
We're better.
I don't even know if I want to be. For as much as I have been correct, and my brother yesterday texted and said that Jesse's take, you have two of the top 3 worst takes in the show's 10-year history.
Wow, that's an honor.
What's the one in between?
No, mine is top still. It's the most important number.
Most important.
They have really railed on me about that, so that's obviously I'm even more sensitive to that because they have given me such grief. But it's true. Like, outside of Green Bay, you want to be – there's obviously you're not always going to go to the Super Bowl if you're the 1 seed, but Seattle, I'm going to tell you right now, they ain't going to the Super Bowl if they ain't the 1 seed. They got to win 3 games. They weren't going to the Super Bowl. Okay? Who was the 1 seed on the other side? Denver.
And
Their
they lost
quarterback
their
didn't blow his knee out at the end of the. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to go.
They're in it
And they weren't by any stretch the best team in the AFC last year. I know they ended up being that way, but they weren't, in my opinion. So I get it, and I understand why Packer fans can look at it from a different perspective, but I really would love for the modus operandi, not about Sheeto saying after 2 weeks we're going to go 17-0 or any of those other things. I just love it to be like, man, we got to take care of our business in our backyard. Yeah, you can worry about the highway 30 miles down the road and all the stuff that you got to get there. Or you can say, you know what, man, my backyard needs some work. I got to get weeded. I got to get my garden planted. I got to start getting my own backyard taken care of because that's where I live. That's where the Packers need to start thinking about. They don't need to start thinking about I-41. Let's start thinking they don't even need to be going to Titletown. They need to start surrounding Hudson Center and what do they call that, the Crick? They got to say, we got to get this right. And now we got to handle our business here.
And they also have to rename those for corporations. So my point in bringing up Mike McCarthy's process to winning the Super Bowl.
What do you think the Crick would cost? That could be like the Wilde Tausch Center. How much do you think that would cost for a
more than I'm willing to pay?
What is the Crick?
It's that little.
It's the indoor facility they have that's inside the Lambeau Field structure itself.
Yeah, it's a walkthrough.
It's a smaller,
They do walkthrough.
Smaller area.
Which again, we had to go. We would have to walk and/or drive down to Hudson, do a walkthrough, and then come back. It sucked.
We could sponsor the gate going from the backyard of the Tundra Trio into the Lambeau area. We could call it the Wilde Tausch Gate.
Yeah, that's an option. It's probably a little more affordable.
Yeah.
My point was going to be that what you said was in no way controversial. By the way, I know that I'm on your brother's naughty list because they're still mad about my fair critique of the shift from music to movies. But nevertheless, you weren't wrong about the importance of the number 1 seed. The Packers just didn't take advantage of it.
Well, I mean,
and every team but the Packers has.
As I've said,
is that true? Is every number 1 seed gone to the Super Bowl since we won 17 games?
Of them.
I don't think any 1 seed has lost in the divisional round except for the Packers since the expansion
they haven't all
to the 7
gotten to the
games.
Super Bowl, but they've all been in the NFC Championship game and/or the Ravens got beat that year in the AFC divisional round. But outside of that, you're going to have a hard time.
We've only had it since 21.
What?
We've only had the 17-game schedule since, 21?
Yeah, but I think the 1 seed's been in play for a while, right?
Well, yeah, but there was also the 2 seed, which also had a bye before
that's fair.
17 games.
Yeah, when the Ravens got beat, that was still the 6-team playoff field, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
With Derrick Henry. I'll check.
All right. Anyway, my point is that what you said was not really that controversial.
No, I didn't bring it up to be controversial. I wanted to reiterate. I just said there's a little bit of pushback because I understand fans are always about championships. I mean, that's what, like on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning, Vinny was saying he's fine, and Vinny is as Wisconsin as it gets. He's saying, I'm all right with him renaming Lambeau if it wins us a Super Bowl. And I'm like, oh, yeah, but what if you don't? And you don't. But his point, and I know you want to get to this a little later, the naming rights, you need to bring in revenue, and what you can't have happen is pay players less, leave the facilities not in a good spot, not have all those things that the NFLPA grades. You need to make sure is up to snuff because this is an arms race. Like it is. You need to have all the stuff in order to bring in and procure the talent that you need to win a championship.
Yeah, I get it. I just think that to reiterate your point and to, I don't know who pushed back on you. I don't know what their pushback was, but let me be very clear. I don't think Mark Tauscher, Packers Hall of Famer, was suggesting that the Packers or anyone in their fan base or he himself would be satisfied with winning a division again. Winning the division is a means to an end. And the end is winning a title again, which has not happened since Tausch was a player. And I hate to be that guy, but it's been a while since Tausch was a player. He's closer to his 50th birthday than he is to his playing career. And so to win the division, which they have not done since 2021, would give them a better opportunity to getting to where they want to go. So I can't imagine anyone construing that as, well, we're just satisfied. But there is a segment of the fan base that thinks that Mark Murphy before him, and now we'll see about Ed Policy, didn't really care about winning a championship. It's all about, hey, we just want to be competitive and keep making money, and that's enough for us. And I don't think that's how they operate in that building. But
as I've told you 1,000 times, that is not how they operate. I can assure you this. Do they want to make money? Absolutely. The entire modus operandi of that organization, and I lived it, I've seen it, is I want our players to have no excuses. I want our players to feel like they're a part of it, and I want them to know we will not leave a stone unturned to get to where we want to go. That is what they do, and I always give you the example of, building that crick. Now, are they doing that for a lot of other reasons? Yes, but it's because players were complaining we had to walk down and drive down. Underground parking. Yep. Players wanted to have underground parking. They got underground parking.
Renovating the locker room.
Mike McCarthy wanted to have lights for night practices, which we all hated, at a cost of whatever, and we do it. Well, we want to have a mixed turf instead of this, so that all right, we'll do it. We need to have this. We'll do it. They were and dining hall, all of the stuff that locker room. That's why, from my end as a analyst now, there aren't any excuses. Like, that's why we're hard on this squad when they don't get it done, because they pay the players, they make big trade. They've done a big trade. They've done what they need to do, and it's not equating in the biggest times of the year. They're not finishing, and they're not doing it, and that's what's happened the last 2 seasons. And I would argue that in order to get there, you need to position yourself better than what we have throughout the last 3 playoff runs.
And that would be where winning the division would come in handy. All right, Jesse's very excited about going.
Is it more about the fact that the other teams have gotten a lot better, or have we fallen to the reason we haven't had a division in the last Olympiad?
Yeah, obviously it's a combination of both.
Okay, yeah,
but
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, it's my own fault. It's my own fault for asking. I would argue that it's the teams have gotten better. Go ahead.
But I understand that nobody cares anymore, especially fans that are frustrated with Matt LaFleur, or are frustrated with Goody, or frustrated with a lack of playoff wins other than because look, they have not, correct me if I'm wrong, they have not won a playoff game since losing the NFC Championship to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, other than that Dallas win in 2023. That's the only game they've won in the postseason since losing to Brady, correct? Because they lose the divisional round against the 49ers, don't go to the playoffs in 2022, and now have lost in the first round the last 2 years. So I understand everybody's frustrated. They did transition from one of the GOATs in NFL history at quarterback, no matter how you feel about how the 2022 season went, to a guy that did not look very good his first 2 years in practices. And they went to the playoffs his first year as the starter. They've gone to the playoffs the last 2 years. You can say that there wasn't a 7 seed once upon a time. I get it. But do I think that they've backslid? I would say that with a new starting quarterback following in the footsteps of a 4-time NFL MVP, they have not made as big of a jump as they would have liked, and that their roster hasn't been quite as good as has been sold to us. But yes, everyone around them in the division has also gotten better, including the Bears, who were the one thing you could count on of not getting better for several years. We saw it coming with the Lions, right, with Dan Campbell's success, when they beat the Packers on the last day of the season when they had nothing to play for and the Packers had a win-and-you're-in scenario for the playoffs. We saw it with the Vikings, with Kevin O'Connell replacing Mike Zimmer and things changing there. And now we've seen it in Chicago. Now it's time for the Packers to elevate. So I don't think it's because they've backslid. I think it is because teams have gotten better, but now it's their turn to get better.
Yeah.
It's your turn to get better with your windows. Call Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to do so.
If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time, because Pella, Wisconsin, is offering 0 interest financing all the way to 2030. That's right, 0% interest until 2030. And in Wisconsin, your home, it takes a beating. And if you don't believe me, it's April 2nd. We're getting pelted with, it looks like some type of snowy glaze out there. The right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost your energy efficiency, and upgrade your home's look. Pella's experts will help you find that perfect fit for your home and within your budget with 0 interest all the way till 2030. You can upgrade now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to get started.
Wow, was that your rhyme about not paying a dime?
No. I brought the snowy glaze because it's outside.
You're big on glazing. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news, a rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS caused by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $152,000 in taxes because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a clear plan and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Spring is in the air, and Alev's long-lasting pain relief is here to keep you moving. The days are longer and the flowers are blooming. Whether it's gardening, yard work, or just spending more time outdoors, spring is a way of getting us moving despite any body pain. That's where Aleve can keep you going. With just one dose, Aleve gives you long-lasting body pain relief for up to 12 hours. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip deal. Participation may vary.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
And the hero who scored the overtime goal to beat Michigan State and punch the Badgers' tickets.
Boy, doesn't that just go to show you that regular seasons are, I'm not going to say they're irrelevant, but I mean, the men's hockey team faded bigly January and February. Then they get smoked on like a Tuesday morning that they played over at the Kohl Center against Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. Remember, they got smoked. It was like a weird game time. Maybe it's
Are you thinking of the holiday tournament at Pfizer?
No. I'm thinking about they played Ohio State and they got smoked. I think it was a Wednesday night, but I was trying to be hyperbolic.
Yeah.
It was a Wednesday night.
Yeah, they got crushed.
They got crushed, and then we weren't even sure they're going to make the playoffs. And then they make it, and they go on this run, and obviously they're beat against Michigan State. They make they wouldn't quit.
Incredible rally.
Give them a ton of credit, and then old boy here hits a little blue line ripper that gets snorted into the goal, and away they go to Vegas.
Snorted, is that a hockey term?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good.
For most
never
people or
It's
just
like
for you?
tipping and flipping and snorting. Yep.
Okay. In my years covering Badger hockey under Jeff Sauer and the like, I'd never heard that, so I'm glad I learned something new.
I'm glad you learned.
Today. I also learned today that the Artemis rocket is not actually landing on the moon. We're just lapping the moon. Jesse, you're very excited about
No,
this.
we got to throw a flag up there, don't we?
No, they're not landing.
No, we need a flag.
They're just doing a drive-by.
Nah, flag it. Can we archer a flag out of the ship and
You want them to
land
throw
dart.
a flag.
Like a lawn dart. Yeah.
Javelin, you want a javelin toss from the moon's orbit onto the moon to stick the landing.
That is
just
what
to
I'm
say
looking
we were
for.
there.
That is what I'm looking for, yes.
We were watching. Did you guys watch the launch last night? Because it was on like every channel.
I don't know why I didn't hear anything about this. I didn't know anything about it.
What, were you living on another
I finally
planet?
heard about it this morning. It's the first I've heard of it.
Just living in Uranus.
Nice. So we watched the launch last night. It was cool. Like they were hyping it up like in the morning on Good Morning America and then throughout the day. Like it was on social media. NASA apparently has their own NASA Plus that you can stream every launch that they do. So I learned that yesterday. That's another streaming platform available for us.
I think the Badgers are playing on that in 2027.
The WBIT might have been on that the other day. So
with the 13 people in the state.
we watched it, and like I knew the whole time they had made it pretty clear they're doing an entire thing going up around the moon, surveying it because they're making a moon base and whatever, and then they're coming back. It's like a 10-day mission.
Is Elon doing this, or who's doing it?
NASA. That's the government one.
I understand that's the government.
It's not Elon's
Yeah, but I believe
one.
they're in
It's
cahoots, Jesse. I think they're working together on some stuff.
So Becca had no idea that they weren't actually landing on the moon. And I'm excited about it. Everyone's like, why is this so historic? We went to the moon years. I saw TJ Lang tweeted about it yesterday. He's like, why is this such a big deal? We went to the moon 50, 60 years ago. But they're not even stopping at the moon. They're going around the moon. And it's like the furthest we've traveled in forever, astronauts. And Becca's like, this isn't a big deal at all. If they're not actually landing on the moon, who cares? And I think that's just wrong. Like, it's a big deal. We're sending astronauts up there all around the moon.
But it's not as
Agreed.
big a deal. Mm-hmm. It's not as big a deal as like Buzz and Neil and the boys. I'd say it's not.
My understanding, and Jesse, since you're our NASA expert who has NASA Plus, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is all like precursors to going much, much farther into space, including perhaps all the way to Mars at some juncture.
I know we sent a little droid thing up to Mars like 20 years ago. That was a big deal when I was in school. Everyone's like watching the little probe thingy landing on Mars and giving us the images. Watching yesterday the video feed as they were going into the atmosphere and like getting into actual space. That makes me more convinced the moon landing video was a hoax.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
I didn't think we could top yesterday.
Wow. It's 2026. And we can't get a consistent image as we're going into orbit much closer than what the moon is. But in whatever year that was, we're like doing the whole live video feed. Like, that's a little questionable. Like, we're streaming everything right now. And we couldn't get a consistent image
of the video from that, right? Like, you understand that there's been a leap in technology, but sometimes more complicated can also be more problematic. As we've found on our links to our videos on Earth here, when we've tried to have video and it hasn't worked correctly.
And maybe if we're not landing on the moon this time around on our little 10-day roadie, maybe that means we've never actually been to the moon.
Oh, boy.
All right, well, we need to get to someone who is sky high right now, having gotten the Badgers into the Frozen Four, and that, of course, is Ben Dexheimer, the captain of the Wisconsin men's hockey team. He will join us. We'll ask him. He's too young to recall the first moon landing. I think none of us were born for that, by the way, so that's how long ago that was, TJ Lang. And if your mattress is as old as the last moon landing, it's time for a new mattress. In fact, if you got yours more than 7 years ago, it's time to bench it and draft the new one. And right now, the Mattress Madness sale at Steinhoffel's is the perfect time to upgrade. Their sleep experts will help match you with the right mattress for the way you sleep, so you'll wake up rested instead of hitting snooze over and over. You'll find all the top brands at unbeatable prices, plus free delivery and a 120-night sleep guarantee, so you can't go wrong. Mattress Madness on now at Steinhoffel's. You can shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com. Ben Dexheimer joins us next on the Yingling Guest Hotline. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise: treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together, because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and you can take action locally. Join La Causa on April 13th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Blue Tender, a special fundraising event at Blue at the Pfister, supporting La Causa's Crisis Nursery, southeastern Wisconsin's only shelter providing emergency care for children in crisis. Enjoy a night out while giving back, with 100% of tips and 10% of bar sales donated, and all proceeds matched. Make your impact go twice as far. Visit lacausa.org for details.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day: your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
Feels like the world is a little broken lately. Maybe all we need is a fix. Most spirits are acidic. Fix Vodka is different. Fix Vodka is the world's first high-alkaline, acid-free vodka. Handcrafted with natural spring water and select grain. Clean, smooth, done right. Better water, better vodka. Get your local Fix.
Fix Vodka.
Enjoy responsibly.
You know, I mean, your home is about as personal as it gets, right?
We want to build a relationship with homeowners, not only educating them, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us.
Yeah, the interview goes both ways.
Mhm.
Getting to know people while also serving them. It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
Besides that, it's just the right thing to do. See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to and stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, Tausch, before we welcome him in, I just want to clarify, because, again, I learned that new hockey term in the last segment. How did we describe the goal that went in from the blue line? What is that technical term for hockey?
Schnorter, I believe is what you called it.
A schnorter.
Kind of snorted its way in there.
Well, I'm excited to find out more about what it felt like to snort that game-winning goal into the net and send the Badgers to the Frozen Four.
If they win this championship, is this about as improbable of a championship as we've seen in for when, right? Like probably 2010. This would actually be very similar to the Packers.
Since the team you were last on.
Yeah, where you're kind of left for dead, and then all of a sudden you resurrected like Lazarus and Jesus and the whole deal.
Are we comparing?
Well,
Ben
we got 2 more
Dexheimer
games to win. Let's get to Ben. Let's get to Ben to see, because we still got 2 games left, but it's that time of the year for some of us, right?
Yeah, give Ben a break here, man. I mean, he's a captain. He scored the game-winning goal, but let's leave him out of the New and Old Testament for a minute.
He is risen
here.
indeed.
There we go.
Joining us now on the Yuengling guest hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, although not as old as Lazarus and Jesus, and officially now in Wisconsin, 6 generations, family owned and operated. DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Even though our interviews apparently are not especially responsible, it is Ben Dexheimer on Wilde Tausch. Ben, first, welcome. Second, sorry. Our introduction was not the probably best one you've ever gotten. Let's start here. Tausch called your goal a schnorter. He claims that is a hockey term. Is that, in fact, a hockey term? I go to the Badgers captain for the answer.
I was listening before I got on. To be honest, I'd never heard of a schnorter before, but I'm open to adding it to the long list of hockey terms.
Yeah, Ben, it's basically you put it on net and it just finds a way in there. You know, there's tips and there's all the stuff that you guys practice. I've seen where Joe Pavelski will sit there in front of the net and just blink, 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 and, work it. This was one of those, you just ripped it. You know, in baseball, is a rip schnorter. This just snorted its way. Sure. I don't know how, but it did. Did you think when you ripped it that it was going to go in?
No, I don't think I was thinking much at all, to be honest. And it just kind of zipped off my stick and
snorted, some would say. Yeah.
Snorted off my stick and got a fortunate bounce and it went in. So it was really fun.
How can you kind of go through, because I think for all of us that have played sports, you can sometimes get your dauber down a little bit. You guys are down 3-1, and I don't how did you guys all kind of keep it together? You know, it's obviously it's a big game, but can you just take us inside the mentality? Is it let's just get one to put more pressure on? Because I've always thought it was a dumb thing. My son plays a lot of hockey, that a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. Everybody says that. I'm like, well, no, a 1-goal lead would be worse. But in this case, that pressure just can you kind of just take in the psyche of how your team approached that stretch?
Yeah, we our biggest thing was just focusing on the next shift. We preach that the past is in the past and can't really do anything about that. So focus on the next shift. And honestly, I think the biggest thing was the belief throughout the locker room, on the bench. And if you were on that bench, you would feel it never left, whether we were down 1, down 2. And once we got that first one, when Ozzy scored, I think we all were like, wow, we're going to do this thing. And then Gav went out there. Fitzy made an unbelievable play. We got the third one to tie it up. And in the locker room in between the third and overtime, there was zero panic, which just shows this group and how calm they are under pressure, how confident we are in our ability. And then we went out there and we got the job done, which was a blast.
So, Ben, when Tausch says that about the 2-goal lead, as someone who covered Jeff Sauer's teams and all kinds of Badger hockey before you were born, which makes me feel great, I think the point is exactly what you just talked about, right? You get that first goal to cut it to 1 goal, and you guys are feeling it, right? And the momentum is suddenly shifted to you guys. Could you sense that from as the captain, could you sense that from your guys the minute that second goal went in?
100%. I honestly feel like the momentum was the biggest thing. And when you have that in a game of that stature, it's a pretty special feeling because you know you're just rolling, and it's just kind of you're waiting for the time for it to go in because we knew we were winning that game when we got the third one, and I think that's the fun thing about momentum and the fun thing about this sport is just that's how it works, and we were fortunate enough to get the job done in overtime.
So Ben Tausch said, we've all played sports at different levels. My greatest sports accomplishment was a home run in a varsity baseball game, which we lost 13-2. That's not really a big deal, right? Yep. Scoring the game-winning goal to send your team to the Frozen Four, whether it's a schnorter or not, is a big blanking deal. So take us through your emotions from when it leaves the stick to when you realize it's hit the back of the net and what that was like for you.
Super special. This program deserved to go to the Frozen Four, and I think I let it. My winger got cut on the wall, and I let the puck go. I thought any shot in overtime's a good shot, even if I didn't see any red jerseys in front of the net. But yeah, I shot it. I saw it trickle in, and I think I blacked out a little bit. But I turned towards the boys on the bench, and I don't have too deep of a celebration bag, so I think I just jumped about 3 feet in the air and threw my hands in the air and was just like, we're going to Vegas. So I was super pumped.
How do you guys go about the celebration game? Because I've been watching a lot of high school hockey this year, and there's the skeet shoot where you throw stuff up, and they put a lot of time and effort into it. Obviously, as the captain, you have other things you got to worry about, but who on your team is the most, I guess, prepped for when they have that big moment, are going to have the best celebration?
I think the two unanimous answers on the team would be Quinn Finley and Adam Patilla. Adam Patilla will celebrate a puck off his shin guard in practice on a random Wednesday. So he knows how to celebrate when he scores. And Quinn Finley, he scores as much as anyone in the country. So you can see that when he does in the games, he's got a couple different tricks up his sleeve.
So, speaking of Quinn, I met him. He was with Oz and Granado when he came to a Packers practice. You're a Minnesota guy. I assume they didn't bring you to a Packers practice when they were recruiting you. That was not part of the game plan?
No, I don't know if that would have been the smartest recruiting. Not that they needed to make any big moves to get me here, but no, I did not get invited to the Packer game.
So the reason I bring that up is because Tausch and I were talking before we brought you on about the Packers 2010 team that he was on, really being left for dead at one point that season. And you guys, maybe not inside your locker room, But certainly lots of us on the outside, when you're going through tough times, aren't thinking, yeah, this is a Frozen Four team, baby. I'm wondering, what is it like? You just had a great line about making sure, the past is in the past, and that's your attitude as a group. But what was it like during that stretch to keep the faith and to keep believing, especially when guys are looking to you? That's the reason why you have the C on your chest.
Yeah, I think there were two moments that stand out. It was the 6-game skid we went on kind of in the second half of the year. And getting out of that, I think, was one of the biggest things for our team, because it showed that, one, we weren't dead, but two, we still do have the ability to compete and win against these top teams in the country. We showed it in the first half, and we battled out of that hole of those 6 losses and came out on the top end. And then I think the second moment that everyone kind of would talk about was just the Ohio State Big Ten quarterfinal game, and that's been hard. They've been a thorn in our side for the last 3 years, and not being able to get it done again kind of was, I think, deflating for us, and then deflating for the fans and the media outside. And I think that's another moment when everyone kind of left us for dead. But we just go back to just winning the hour and a half, 2 hours you're at the rink every day. And we had a long 2-week break after that Ohio State game, and we didn't just kind of roll over and say, hey, let's see where the chips fall in Worcester or wherever we were going to play in the regional. We went to work, and we believed that if we trust the process, that we know what talent we have in our locker room. So it wasn't what we were missing. It was just putting the pieces together, and that's what we did in those 2 weeks, and it paid off in Worcester.
Ben, that had to be a tough spot, because you guys were on the bubble, right? You didn't know for sure you're going to get in. Some things had to kind of fall your way, and that, it brought back the 2010 where we had, Deshaun Jackson needed to return a punt in order to beat that team. So how difficult was that? And as a captain, after a tough loss like that, is it you go with a vocal approach? How did you kind of handle that? Because after that loss, there's all that doubt from the outside. Yep. And for as much as you can say that stuff has stayed out, when you have 2 weeks to process it, that's got to be a heck of a thing to keep that group together like you did.
Yeah, I think moments after a tough loss like that, especially at home, it's personally for me, I don't think it does too much good to just start talking right after the game. You got to allow the guys and even me to process something like that. And then I just we go with the 24-hour rule. We'll let it soak in, but the sun is going to come up tomorrow, and that's a new day that we can get better and we can learn from what happened the night before. But then when we were on the bubble waiting to get into the regional, we were all sweating those games out. We watched the ECAC final between Dartmouth and Princeton as a team, and it definitely wasn't an easy game to watch, as Dartmouth won in overtime. And when they won, we were juiced, because we knew we'd been putting the work in. It was just about getting our ticket into the tournament, and we got our ticket. And I think that's when we were like, all right, let's go do this thing.
And now off to Vegas. And I know it's not going to be a typical boys trip out to Vegas, but how excited is it that the Frozen Four is out there, and that's and just another opportunity to go and try and chase down this championship?
It's super exciting. Everyone, I think just the hype around it being in Vegas is really special. And like you said, it's not going to be a regular guys trip out there. It's a business trip. But if there's a year to win the national championship, I think it's this year being in Vegas. So, no, we're really excited, and a huge opportunity for the school, for our team, and it's going to be a fun first game against North Dakota.
So I'm assuming now if we go out there and get this done, you win your 2 games, the women have done their end, right? They've held up their end of the donkey with another championship. It's fair to say this is going to be hockey town, right? There's no denying that Wisconsin will be hockey town. You guys go finish this thing off.
Yeah, you can't deny the facts, right? If we get it done, and the women's team, obviously they're incredible and they got their business done, so we can go out there, and if we get it done, I think you can call this college hockey town.
And you think you'll swear again if you get this done? Will we see? Because we started to, I think, embrace that little, because it's authentic. I know you can't do it on our show now because we'll get an FCC fine and we can't afford that. But on your end, that was just showed how raw all of that was after you did that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep it in the vault from here on out. But if it slips, I guess it slips. But yeah, I think the adrenaline took over in that moment, and we had media training 2 days ago, right when we got back, and I don't know if that was because of my slip up or just in preparation for Vegas. But no, it's really exciting. We're super excited.
So all the boys had to go through a media seminar because you cussed after the game-winning goal.
I took a little bit of blame for it for sure, but I think it was just supposed to be preparation for Vegas. Yep.
Carter Booth did it too after they won the volleyball Elite Eight, so he's
part
not
of the
alone.
deal.
Yeah, you go to the Final Four, you swear.
Yeah.
Talking with Badgers captain Ben Dexheimer, who has kept it PG for us today. Did your parents get after you at all for swearing on national television?
No, honestly, I think they were just as excited as we won the game. But I think I could have said anything on there, and they would have just given me a hug. So
probably
it
good
was
they weren't mic'd up. They would have probably been worse than you.
Right. My dad was in the stands, and I'm glad he wasn't mic'd up.
So, Ben, Tausch mentioned this earlier, but we're at different points in our lives than you are. Like, when I was covering Badger hockey, I was going to the KK with Jason Zent and all those guys that were on that team, right? And now we're both dads. I do have to ask a dad question, which is, we both have kids that are athletes, and the idea of being the captain of a team, it's something that I know we talk about with our girls. The leadership required. You got to be really smart about how you go about executing it. And we've spent some time, too, on this show talking about Packers leadership and whether guys are vocal or not. What is your approach to that responsibility?
Yeah, it's been a learning curve leading at this level, but I think that at the beginning, I talked to Mike Vorlicki, who was my captain, who I respect a ton my sophomore year, and the biggest thing he said was, don't try to be anyone you're not. I'm not a huge hoorah, scream and shout guy. I'm more of a, let's look at it logically, and we got to do our business and get in the ring, do what we need to do, and then get out. And so I think that if you were to ask guys around me, it's more of a softer approach, but obviously when things need to be talked about and we need to have the hard conversation, I'll be the first one there as well. But yeah, I think it's more of a support system for me. Guys need to know that they have a good handful of guys behind them, and it's not just me. It's been amazing with Schultze wearing an A, Joe Plotachuk, and Gavin Morrissey. They've been an unbelievable group to lead with. I piggyback off them day to day. They do the same with me, and I think we mesh well together. And I think that's been a good part of the recipe for success that's gotten us to where we are today.
Well, we're so happy that you snorted that goal in and sent your team to the Frozen Four. My last old guy question for you, though, you're from Edina, Minnesota, and every time I see that on a bio, I think of the Mighty Ducks and the kid coming over from the arch rival team and getting called a cake eater when he goes into the locker room. For those that are not native Minnesotans, what the hell is a cake eater, and why do you guys get called that all the time?
To be honest, I really don't know. I think it's more they think that just to start it off, I'm not from there anymore. We moved a couple years ago, but okay. I think a cake eater is just kind of, you get everything handed to you. It's easy. It comes easy to you. But that program is super historic, and they've won. My brother actually won the state tournament, the Minnesota State tournament there in 2024. So they do have a winning history, and I think that's another reason why guys don't like them is because they do just win.
But their mascot is not a big piece of cake or anything.
No, it's a hornet. It's a hornet. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Just to clarify. Ben, I appreciate you making time for us. I know, when the Badger Herald or Daily Cardinal comes to talk to you, it's a little different than two old dudes. But this was so much fun, and we are so happy for you. We're both obviously supportive of Badger hockey, and we wish you nothing but the best in Vegas. And if you can snort in a couple more game winners, gosh darn it, go for it, man.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I'll start trickling Schnorter into the locker room and see if it catches on.
See how it goes.
I love it. All right, Ben. Yeah. Safe travels, buddy. We appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
That is Badgers men's hockey captain and the scorer of the game-winning goal in overtime that sent them to Vegas, Ben Dexheimer. I'll say this. He did keep it PG, but I don't have and I'm not a big swearing guy, but I don't have a problem in those moments because what he said is exactly right. That was 100% authentic, and he had every right to be really fired up.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
I don't love the fact that now there's this long layoff, and having covered Badger hockey for a long time early in my career, because they don't play the weekend right away, it is kind of weird. I didn't want to keep them any longer, but I am curious whether that layoff is a good thing or a bad thing, because the Frozen Four is always postponed that extra week.
We're a momentum squad, man. So
Right.
it would have been great to probably play on that Monday. But that's not how the cookie crumbles.
No, it's not. So, Jesse, did you successfully get us all booked to go to the Frozen Four with management, since I know you were pushing for that?
I'm still working on it. I think the deadline is passed for credentials, but if we still wanted to go as observers.
Athletic supporters?
Yeah, supporters, observers, dare I say fans, I think we could make that happen and do some coverage in and around the event. So, I don't know. I'm in. Are you guys in?
I can't make it.
We're all going to be at Hard Rock in Rockford on Wednesday. We can just go right from there.
I will be watching, but
Easy
I can't
trip.
Just drive on over to O'Hare.
Jut over to O'Hare, one trip, boom, boom, we're there.
All right. Let us know.
Keep us posted. We'll keep you posted with more next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousin Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
An open house like no other, our Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited open house brings in product reps so you can see, touch, feel the product, and talk to the manufacturer reps directly from Pella, Sunrise, Marvin Windows and Doors, LP SmartSide, CertainTeed Roofing, TimberTech Decking, County Pavers, and Screen Rooms. Everything is here for your next project at one place, one time on Saturday, April 25th from 9 to 1 p.m. Details at sidingunlimited.com and outdoorlivingunlimited.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a ball.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Eric Zauner, Marine Corps veteran and board member for the Center for Veterans Issues, calling on the community to tee it up for a great cause. On Monday, June 15th, CVI is hosting its 5th annual golf outing at the River Club in Mequon. This year's event is supporting CVI's Permanent Supportive Housing Program, dedicated to assisting chronically homeless or disabled veterans and their families. Grab your clubs and support our veterans today. Register to golf, sponsor, or donate at cvivet.org/events.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks were shorthanded in Houston on Wednesday night as they fell to the Rockets 119-113. Ousmane Dieng had a career game as he put up 36 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists. Here's head coach Doc Rivers after the game.
I loved how unselfish this group of guys were. I mean, Kevin, Katie, and I had a running dialogue through the game, and even he made that comment and said, man, they're playing the right way. That's good when you see and hear an opposing player say that.
Up next for the Bucks, they will go to Boston to take on the Celtics on Friday night. I'm Will Summers.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks again to Ben Dexheimer for joining us on the Yingling Guest Hotline. I know we're not generally a hockey program, but that was really fun, and it was especially enjoyable for me because I owe so much to the late Coach Jeff Sauer and covering hockey. It was the first beat I ever covered where it was my responsibility to cover the team day in and day out, and I learned so much that still guides me today as a reporter, so it has a very special place in my heart. I never
was that even more than the DeForest track
very
spot?
Much so more.
Oh,
yeah, very much so more.
I thought that's where you really focused early on.
No, and in fairness, my interest was more in.
It was a passion project.
Definitely a passion project.
After people were DeForest Norskis, but be that as it may,
Did you at all think he was definitely a little taken aback by the cake eater stuff? Like, I think he could tell he was.
No, I thought he was really good.
I don't know, Jim.
Okay, well, you're certainly entitled to your opinion, Schnorty. But
I think he was more taken aback by Schnorter at the start.
You think he was more taken aback by a Schnort shot than by being called a cake eater?
I just don't. First of all, I did not call him a cake eater. I asked him about
Come on.
And second of all,
you called him a cake eater. There's no run that
you said, "Hey, you're from Minnesota," and they call people from Minnesota cake eaters.
Hey, is your mascot the cake eaters? There'd have to be a fork if your mascot was a cake eater, right?
That may have been my favorite part. Was then he laughed and said, "No, they're the Hornets." But his brother did win a state title with the Edina High School Hornets.
Those videos of the state quarterfinals and of hockey up there. Hockey's different up there now.
It's the state of hockey.
It is.
Remember one of the first times we ever had Kelly Sheffield on the show and Badger Volleyball was making a run a bunch of years ago? You had the first thing you did when he came on was you proposed a bunch of ideas for how to improve volleyball, and I don't think he was too flattered with that.
Probably not.
That kind of reminded me of how we started that conversation with Ben, with the, you should call this a Schnorter.
I didn't say you should call it a Schnorter.
Nobody said he should. I asked him if he had ever heard that term. And I believe we have now officially confirmed.
Well, Schnorter's more of a blue-collar goal, and obviously he's not a cake eater, so he's gonna come around on the Schnort.
Be that as it may, it was great to talk to Ben. And
by the way, why is the cake eaters everybody eats cake?
So I think as it was explained to me by another Edina graduate, which again he did point out that they moved. That the Dexheimers moved.
Distancing himself from
Edina. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
It's one of these.
Let me know when you're done.
I might interject 2 or 3 more times.
I'm sure you will.
I didn't know you wanted me to start giving you a preview of when I was going to do that.
ABS says it was a miss.
Well, if you're going to be tapping your head, then I'll know. I will. My understanding is that the people of Edina are so well off that they eat cake at every meal. Is where that stems from. But I did want to get the line in there about them not being the cake eaters as their school mascot.
I interpret it as they have their cake and eat it too, like they're
like
giving,
Antoinette
you get a cake, you kind of whatever word you want to say, you get your cake and then you get to eat your cake.
Let's not bury the lead here. I know Jason called him a cake eater, and that's fine. This is a remarkable run. This is what we're looking for, and the path is hard. Like, he just went through it. He had to sit and watch the EACAC game with Columbia playing somebody. I don't know who the hell they're playing, but that was, to put it in other people's hands is always tough when you don't control. And then when you get that opportunity, a lot of times it's, maybe it just wasn't our year. But then you get one, and then you start feeling it. It's, for everybody that was trying to kind of equate the Packers this season with all of the injuries to 2010, if this team can close up shop, this is a parallel storyline. In the fact that things didn't go great, you had a stretch where it didn't, you were able to overcome, you had strong leadership, and boom, 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 you end up going on a run, and bam, you play your best when your best was required. That's what championship teams do, and they don't all look the same. They're not all dominant from start to finish. But this team has positioned itself to do something pretty incredible, and that's it's kind of incredible in its own right.
Also, I do think that, and I wasn't going to go this direction with it, but it underscores what we talked about with the Badger men's basketball team, is that the great moment, and whether that's right or wrong is for others to debate, but the great moments that you have as a team during your journey, which I always look at my job as chronicling the journey of every year's team, usually the Packers now at this point in my career, those moments matter to those players, man. Like, that those guys from the men's basketball team are looking and talking about the win over Illinois or the win over Michigan. But to the people that aren't on the team, that are just, show me the baby, don't tell me how hard the labor was.
Yeah, but in that same respect, every one of those guys will always remember the High Point loss.
Sure, I don't doubt that, but they won't forget the other ones the way fans kind of are.
They dip. They do dip.
No doubt.
It's always the negative that ends up in that. The boys on KBN asked me this the other day, and it's a great question, which I'm not going to take a shot at those guys. It was a great question. I don't remember who asked it. When has been that big moment since that, Tramon Williams pick and the interception to win the Super Bowl? What has been in all of Wisconsin sports? Sam Decker drilling the three.
Step back, Jack.
Ben Dexheimer with the goal. Like, if you go on and win a championship, old girl scoring to tie that game up and then to go win it in overtime. There are those moments, but I'm talking about in our national, like in our professional leagues. How many of those moments have we had since 2010 in the entire state? They've all been. It's been the ratio of gut punch to exuberant joy.
The value
is way out of whack. Way out of whack. Like, it should probably be close to 2-1. It's there's going to be stuff that happens. It's probably 20-1 in gut punch to exuberance. That's crazy. Our ratio's off.
From the YouTube comments, Mike informs us that we can get a direct flight from the Rockford Airport to Vegas.
Can we leave on Wednesday? Can we leave on Wednesday?
I bet we could.
Are the games Thursday, Sunday, or Thursday, Saturday?
Thursday, Saturday.
First game is Thursday. I believe they said 4 p.m. if I saw it right on the ESPN
that's only
site.
If it starts after somebody else's game. I'm sure we always get that second.
We're the first game against North. I believe it's 4 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, which would be 2 p.m. Vegas time.
And then Scott informs us that schnorter is a sheep's head term?
No. Not in the sheep's head I play.
Okay,
maybe Scott can elaborate. If Scott can elaborate what that is, then I can validate.
That would have actually made a lot of sense, though, given your Hall of Fame sheep's head
top
credentials.
1% in the world. Yes. Yep.
Annex Wealth Management is top 1% of the world when it comes to managing your wealth.
Well, I don't want to brag or anything, but I will. I'm really good at some types of trivia, potpourri, sports, geography, sheep's head, a lot of stuff. You can turn to me for all of those. And you know what? I don't know if I'd be a great contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like that one dude that phoned a friend to talk to his dad to tell him he just won $1 million, which was by the way, a boss move. I'm going to be a boss on April 14th. I'm not great in everything with financial literacy. That's why we have the great team at Annex to help. But I am challenging you to join me and play along in a webinar called Beat Old T at Financial Literacy. Register, and you can try to beat me as Annex will ask the questions. We're going to give away prizes. I'm going to get some. I think there might be some cash involved. I don't know that for sure, but there's going to be great prizes, and I intend to demolish everyone who challenges me. And at the end, you're going to learn a lot about financial literacy because it is Financial Literacy Month, so it's a win-win. And you're going to have a chance to win some great prizes. Register today at events.annexwealth.com. That's events.annexwealth.com for Beat Old T on April 4th. We're going to do it right after the show at noon on the 14th of April.
Doug, in the Madison YouTube comments, there are two guys with Badgers ties on this year's Edina team, Bob Johnson's grandson and Ryan Suter's son. Go Cake Eaters.
Oh, Brooks. Brooksy Suter, yeah.
So, just a little tidbit there.
Did
Good
they
stuff.
win the championship this year?
That Doug didn't share that. I can certainly look that up for you.
You know what would be kind of a fun deal? Is to have we should do a border battle where the Division I champion from here plays the Minnesota champion. I think that'd be really fun.
Play it at Fiserv Forum the week after the basketball championships.
If you don't think that the Division IV champ wouldn't love a shot at the Division I champ, you don't know ball.
Hey, you win a gold ball at a state championship. Instead of walking off into the sunset, go play another game next week and maybe lose it.
Get beat by 30.
Ahead, you know what? Go ahead and ask those kids if they'd want to go play. Go ahead and ask them. You think this is where there's a disconnect between.
Don't do that.
It's true. I won't, but you know what I'm going to say, but I won't say it.
I do know what you're going to say.
Old Jelly, sit back.
Do it.
Competitors want to compete, and they want to give it. Maybe the Division I guys don't want to do it because there's nothing to lose or nothing to gain.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're telling me, I don't know who won Division IV. You did the game.
I did Division III. Division IV was Milwaukee Juno.
You don't think they'd want a shot at the Knipple boys? Of course they would.
Hey,
Elway.
Hey, Jerome Bettis. Hey, Strahan. You want to play one more game instead of walking off with a championship?
Hey, UFL champs. Do you want a shot at John Elway and the Broncos? Yeah, we do.
I'd play John Elway now if I was them, too. The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Look around your office. Does it look like 1994 called and wants its lobby back?
Most brands just show up, often amongst outdated decor.
At Captivate Exhibits, ordinary space is the enemy. Beige walls, faded graphics, that motivational poster no one reads.
That's not culture, that's camouflage.
Captivate designs and build spaces that don't whisper, they speak. They spark conversations. People lean in.
Stop blending in and start captivating today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Hey, Mike, are you burning those burgers again?
Hey, it's flavor.
Every friend group has that one house where everyone ends up.
The snacks are out and the beers are cold.
And somehow, everyone's in the kitchen. At Professional Construction Inc., we design kitchens built for hosting.
Smart storage, beautiful finishes, space that actually works.
Because summer shouldn't feel cramped.
It should feel like this.
This summer, be the house that everyone gathers at.
Get started today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
We are the home for all your Bucks coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock out of Wilde Tausch begins now.
Does Schefter, did he put out any like April Fool's jokes yesterday? He didn't play that dumb game that everybody else is doing, right?
I didn't see any.
So news just broke, and I think this is legit, that Kirk Cousins is going to be the quarterback. He just signed with the Raiders.
That's correct. It broke before the show.
Oh, it did. It broke before the show.
Indeed.
That was like way.
Well, it wasn't in your SportsCenter update.
I didn't think it was relevant.
That's not relevant.
I don't
there was
think the
talk of the Packers thinking about him. There was talk.
From who?
First of all, Goody's
Dexy?
answer on that question again, I wasn't at the NFL meetings, but his answer was this kind of nondescript, well, we talked about everything and this and that, and, of course we consider all the options. Kirk Cousins wasn't interested in going to a place where there is an entrenched, clear-cut starter. Period, Finn. This is an opportunity for him to potentially start, for a little while anyway, in Vegas after they draft the Indiana quarterback.
I feel like this Mendoza's he's going to be very similar to Kirk.
In terms of
just like they're both buttoned up like what are those? Not the quarter zip dudes. The whatever Cousins was for a while there. I think it's like
Coles.
I don't give out advertising like that, but sure.
Well, what did you want me to do?
I don't know. Just throw it out there.
Then they let loose on like you like that, or Mendoza up on the
they're like
dais.
a goofy. That's like they got a goofy vibe to it.
I think that's a really good call there.
So those two. So I actually think this is a really smart move by the Raiders.
I agree.
I think it's he's that offense, Kubiak, and it should be. That's a great fit. I didn't want Kirk Cousins as a Packers backup. I wanted Justin Fields.
Yes, you did.
I do believe that we were intrigued to take a look at Justin Fields.
That ship has sailed, however.
That ship has sailed.
A couple of housekeeping items before we get further into the backup search. First of all, per ChatGPT, which I know you're a big fan of, that young man, Engine 181. I don't know if he's a firefighter or where that handle comes from, but in our ESPN Madison YouTube.
Do we have a chat now? We have a YouTube chat. We got the talk and text line. Do we have a chat line? Like on our Chat GPT. Do we have a Chat GPT chat?
YouTube, we have YouTube chat, which you continue to claim you're a subscriber, but you don't know how to get into
I don't have to continue. I literally showed you that I am a subscriber.
You never have showed me that.
I have.
You've never shown me. No.
How do you envision a chat working?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
I think you can open it up to fans and chat like along. You ask questions, and it's very similar to how we run our chat with our show reviews and et cetera, et cetera. We could leave that open for fans, and they could critique.
Oh, my God.
They could give us their feelings, and we could look at their chat as part of like the YouTube chat.
You want ChatGPT to become a social media platform for our fans to interact with during the show?
I want our fans to have the opportunity to chat with ChatGPT about our chats on ChatGPT.
Okay.
You brought it up. I didn't.
You literally did.
No, I did not. He said housekeeping notes, and he started talking about ChatGPT. I didn't bring any of that up.
Per Engine 181, ChatGPT says that schnorter is a Yiddish slang term for a beggar, but is also used as a term in sheep's head for a very strong hand that is sure to win.
Well,
I got myself a schnorter.
We call that the Helen Keller, is what we call that hand.
We meaning you and your brothers, or we
No,
as
I'm not
in sheepshead players writ large?
There's just where anybody could play that hand. You don't even need to, basically, because Helen Keller unfortunately couldn't see, right? Was that part of Helen Keller's story, right?
Correct.
So
she couldn't see or hear.
You could play the hand, and
you could be blind, and you'd still win the hand.
That is what this guy
That
Schnorter.
sounds like something that you guys came up with.
So
you and your buddies.
Schnorter is you're hoping or begging for something to happen. You rip a shot that you don't think's going to go in. He even said it. He didn't expect it to go in.
If you would have just let me finish.
Well, go ahead and finish. I didn't stop you.
I found that. Yes, you did. I found that definition to support your choice of a word to describe the goal. Because you're begging for it to go in the net.
So it actually makes a ton of sense.
It does.
The win for Old T.
Well, you could have, as you normally preface, I don't know, this isn't great for the show, but that you normally will premise those things beforehand.
I was building up to it.
That's not what you do. You're not a build-up guy. Come on.
In this instance...
I will have to look. Maybe we've used the term schnorter and sheep. That's not where that came from on my
couple other things in the housekeeping department. Edina did not win the state championship in hockey in Minnesota. They lost to eventual champions Moorhead in the semifinals. I got that from not only multiple people in the chat, but also Hunter Vaughn, who's always helping us, even when he's not producing
not
the
only
show.
Prep Mania USA Wisconsin, it's son of a guns Prep Mania Minnesota.
I was really curious what happened in Minnesota high school hockey this morning. I'm glad we covered this.
Great. I'm glad we did too then.
The question was asked, because now we have to set up the big hockey showdown.
Who won the Indiana hockey tournament this year? Inquiring minds would like to know.
Hockey's not known in Indiana.
Hey.
Have you seen the crowds that the Minnesota State hockey gets? It's impressive, Jesse.
It's almost as hard to get a ticket to that as wrestling in Wisconsin.
From the Wisconsin Badgers that has led a team that everybody left for dead to go, and he played at Edina. So is it relevant in the normal scope of the show? The answer would be no. For today's show, it's completely compliant. ChatGPT will agree with me.
And Jesse, just for housekeeping purposes, since you're Mr. Prep Mania, who won the state WIAA Division I hockey title in our fine state?
Edgewood.
Not Muskego, I can tell you that
Edgewood won
much.
the state championship. They're back-to-back champions. No, I know they did.
No,
Is that D1?
We should have beaten Monona Grove and had a shot. I don't know if we could have beat Edgewood, but we wanted a piece, and we didn't get a shot.
Again, I was asking Jesse to see if he knew.
No, he doesn't
I looked it up.
He doesn't know anything about hockey.
Congrats to
I know, but I promise you this: if you go, my buddy Pete Rothering, who's the coach over at Edgewood, if you said, "Hey, you get to go play up in Minnesota at their barn with our team a week after we just won a gold medal for the state of Wisconsin," he'd walk his team up there to go play. So that's what would happen.
Did Pete play for the Badgers? Rothering sounds like a name that I'm familiar with. Yeah,
Timmy.
There it is. Okay. I would say this about your idea.
It's absolutely genius. Thank you.
I am with that idea. The idea of, say, I don't know, the Wisconsin Lutheran team with two Knipples and the Gatorade Player of the Year playing like the Division IV champs who may not have quite the same firepower. That doesn't appeal to me as much, but the parallel enrollment matchups across state lines, I think is a great idea, and I'm 100% on board with that.
Wisconsin Lutheran has no enrollment, so enrollment doesn't matter.
They have no enrollment?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, compared to Division I, yes, they don't have the enrollment. Okay.
Well, whatever the case may be, we will let Tausch spend some time working
you guys all, Jesse, you agree with Jason? You have no interest in the Division IV team playing a division?
No, state championship, that's the culmination. You're done. You win the state title, that's your walk-off. Yeah.
All right. All I'm saying is, had we been able to beat Oostburg, Division III, we would have loved an opportunity to go play the Division I champs.
So you didn't even win the Division III title, but now you want a shot at the Division I champs.
No, but I'm guessing Moriarty and the Usbergians would have loved to have went and played after they beat us.
Who won the Division I state title that year?
I don't even care. I completely shut it off after we got beat, so I don't know.
Luckily, the Badgers football coaches were watching, though. All right. As much as I would love to come up with better matchups for state champions, we need to crown the latest champion of our Iron Jock contest.
Oh, and I'm
going to
get after Jesse today. I'm not asking him for numbers. He's been mean today. He's been mean. So I'm going big. I'm going real big today. And as a former athlete, I've worn just about every workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Jesse, look up how far it is to Edina, Minnesota from Beloit, Wisconsin, please. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh. No matter how hard you work, from the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock will keep you dry, comfortable, and confident. Now through April 5th, when you spend $50, you get 30% off, and we're going to give you 2 free pair of socks. All you got to do, use that code SOCKS2. That's SOCKS and the number 2. Iron Jock's going to help you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. And shop now at ironjock.com. Right now is your chance. You get to win one of those awesome Iron Jock hoodies. Caller number, how many miles?
It is 324 miles from Beloit.
324?
No, wait.
I'm not going to go that high.
I got it for you. It's a 3-hour, 6-minute drive. That's 186 minutes.
All right, we'll be nice to Jesse today. Caller 186 to win an Iron Jock hoodie. These things are beautiful. You're loving it. I know everybody is jazzed, so get calling at 844-770-3776.
Jazzed.
I know everybody is jazzed too, so get calling. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Get jazzed and win yourself an Iron Jock hoodie. Next, it's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
All right, Wisconsin, Josh DiMaggio here, and you know it's tournament time, and Wanna Parlay is where players go to win. If you're building brackets and backing your picks, now you've got even more ways to cash in, and with brand new alternative lines on Wanna Parlay. More control, more strategy, bigger upside. And don't forget, the world's richest parlay is waiting. Download Wanna Parlay in the App Store today and use code JGC for a 100% deposit match for up to $250. Don't just watch it, play it with the world's richest parlay, Wanna Parlay.
Mark Tosher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Make your next meal Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Right now, get a crispy chicken sandwich, regular or pepper jacked, for just $3.99. Feeding the crew? Grab an 8-piece bone-in fried chicken for only $9.99. And don't forget to dip it in Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken sauce. Short on time? Order ahead with the Quick Rewards app and make it fast. Stop in today for your No Ordinary Chicken. Crunch outside, tender inside. Only at Quick Trip.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Turn your dream kitchen into a reality with the IKEA Dream Kitchen event. Now through April 21st, IKEA family members save 10% when they spend $3,000 or more on section kitchen cabinets and eligible appliances and countertops. That's modern style, smart storage, and everyday functionality designed your way. Plus, section cabinets come with a 25-year limited warranty. Not sure where to start? IKEA's expert kitchen planners are here to guide you every step of the way. Your dream kitchen is closer than you think. So visit IKEA Oak Creek or IKEA.us today.
Hi, this is Leanne Womack. I fell in love with country music as a child listening to my dad spin records at a radio station. I always dreamed of hearing my own songs on the radio. I set a goal and achieved it. You can do anything if you set your mind to it. Never let anyone tell you it's impossible. So if you have the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jesse Nelson still has another 11 callers to get to before we give away our Iron Jock hoodie. So, best of luck to you 11 callers that are vying for that
that's
honor.
a long haul, 386 miles.
Not as long as it would be if we all drove from Rockford to Vegas. Tausch, you have admitted publicly that you have now joined the ranks of the entertain me crowd.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you are willing to say right now, before God, country, and our vast network of Wilde and Tausch fans, that you are in favor of the 18-game schedule?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not in favor of it.
Good. Glad to hear that. Why not? Because apparently everybody and their brother is on board, including at policy.
The owners are.
Yeah. Why? Why aren't you? Entertain me.
We don't need more games. Like, there's already the most meaningless regular season game in the history of football. It was covered by you extensively a couple months ago. And I understand, the pigs get slaughtered, hogs get fat, and then old boy said feed them ducks. Well, you feed them ducks too much, they end up bloating, and then they can't get up off the water. Or they get shot. We're getting to that point where, football is a special game, and it takes a lot to play. It demands a lot from your body. You give a lot. What you're not getting, and all of these owners disingenuously will say, well, we're replacing a preseason game with a regular season. Guys don't play in the preseason, so that's garbage.
Not no more.
You have to play another 2 games to get to free agency, to get your money. They are more than happy playing the games because it's not them doing it. I understand they have to continue to build the bottom line, and they've done a fantastic job. They've grown it, and they're continuing to grow it. They're making guys play on Thursdays. Now they're going to say that there's no exemptions to play on Friday. Like, there's just a lot of things, and the player safety component to it, I don't want to hear about it. They have gotten better with concussions. They've gotten better with some things, so I want to make sure I give them credit on that. But to try and tell me that there's not going to be more injuries and there's not more on players' bodies is just bunk. I'm not going to ever listen to that because it's garbage, and they know it when they say it. Mm-hmm. So it's going to happen because that's just the way this goes. The owners want it. They have a unified message in saying it. I know J.C. Tretter's taken over. The pressure of not giving into that is going to be immense. I remember when we hired DeMaurice Smith back in 2010, one of our flagpoles were we never were going to go off of 16 games. Well, that changed. That happened for whatever reason. So I'm never, as a former player, going to like that. But if it is going to be the way it goes, we need to get a lot out of it. It can't just be less practice time. It needs to be more money. It needs to be more money for former players. There needs to be medical. Like, we need to win some of those concessions to give what the owners really want. Because the players, nobody will say that they want that game. Nobody as a player. They will live to do it because there's a great financial reward for it. And that is the only way that makes sense. But if I'm an owner, I'm doing the same thing that Ed Policy's doing, that Jerry Jones is doing, because it ain't my blank out on that field ripping up knees and shoulders and concussions. And so I get it, and we all know what we're signing up for. We all do. The problem is you don't know what bills got to get paid until you got to start paying those bills. And by those bills, I mean the health factors that go in when you start getting older. That part nobody cares about. It's entertain me now, and that's where this thing is going.
So I make no bones about the fact that I am pro-player, not pro-franchise or pro-owner. Reading this story from Stephen Holder from the NFL meetings, he and I'm guessing that several of his colleagues contributed to this by talking to their team owner while the meetings were going on. But Stephen covers the Colts, and he talked to their owner, Irsay's daughter, Carly Irsay Gordon. And one of her lines is about how a shortened offseason program might be a good incentive for players. We need to start thinking about working smarter, she said.
Who said that?
Colts owner Carly Irsay Gordon.
No, and I'm already seeing Florio say that the owners think they're giving too much money. They're going to fight on the money side of it. That can't happen.
Don't fall for the shorter offseason as some sort of great concession from the owners.
Listen,
please.
What I don't want to have is everybody sit here and bickering at the players, because the bottom line is we've had these opportunities, and guys aren't willing to sit. Guys aren't.
You're right.
At 27,
No, I get that.
At 26, 27, 28, 29, you're not willing to give up. If you're Zach Tom, are you willing to sit out a year where you're making $22 million because you want to go for the betterment of the game? The answer is no, and the owners know that, and it'll be 1,000 to 800 from a voting standpoint, like it was last time. And the star players will say we can't take a franchise tag. They'll win that. And we can all sit here and say, these guys, their union sucks and all this other stuff sucks. Well, the reality is the system is set up for the long-term gain. This is the way it is.
So can I ask you have experience with this. So I guess my question is, not since, 1987 that they used replacement players? The owners have never been pushed to the brink of actually facing empty stadiums and stars and rank-and-file players not playing. So I get it. You're 1,000% right, Tausch. If I was a player who has a window to be an NFL player, I don't want to miss a year either. But if we get to missing one paycheck and the NFL having a bunch of empty stadiums for a week, do we think owners are prepared to miss a season worth of income?
Owners are going to win every time.
So you don't think that we'll ever see them get to a point of pushing the envelope here?
Nope. They have other businesses. Like, this is, obviously for some of the families, it's their main business, but they will weather the storm and they'll be fine.
So your guy, Mr. Kraft, did say that he believes there should be 2 bye weeks. If there are 2 bye weeks in an 18-game schedule, does that soften your position on it, or does that not have an impact?
My position is never going to change. But I will end up, just because the players make the decision on this, They're going to decide that they want to do this, and once they do, I will be entertained. But I do think there will be a week that I will take off, and it might be the week 18. I might just say I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the whole week off, and I understand that you're not going to. I understand that there'll be other media folks, but
silent protest.
No, it's going to be loud. I'll do a loud protest. I am not going to do it, and I assume that Craig Karmazin will understand when we do that. But yes, that will be. Maybe I'll take off week 1 because it's going to be more preseason-ish than ever. But I love season openers, so I probably won't. Maybe it'll be week 3 if we play like Atlanta or some nondescript road game.
What about a regular season finale in Minnesota?
No, that one's got to be covered extensively. That needs to be double covered. And by the way, and I don't want to look at like our YouTube numbers because I know fans don't care about this. Fans want games. So Jerry Jones is right. And until fans say no, which they're not going, which I hope they don't, because that's that's how I'm making my living now. That's how players make their living, and that's not how the owners make it, but that's how our players and coaches make their livings, is by having great interest. And the NFL secret sauce has always been scarcity. It's a great game. It's physical. Guys, regular humans know they can't do that. There are regular humans that think they could go hit threes like Steph Curry. There's not a lot of regular humans that are going to say, I can go block Reggie White. Or I'm going to take a hit from Ronnie Lott and be able to live to tell about it. So there's that, but the scarcity of it is what makes it so special. The fact there's 162 baseball games, I'll catch the next one. You can't do that with football.
That's true. I just think it's worth noting that you are wrong and that our numbers have not taken a hit in the YouTube. And not only that, but I have 4 consecutive comments in the Madison chat saying that they don't want an 18-game schedule.
Yeah, but they'll watch. I mean, I think everybody is always resistant to change.
Well, of course they'll watch. They still are Packers fans. But you can say, look, I don't want it. I'm not going to, like, if there's something on the line in week 19 or week 20, if there's 2 buys, you're still going to watch because you care about your team.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean you're glad that they expanded the schedule.
Well, if you're a game out and that extra game gets you there. But the problem with this is, too, this is going to be one of those weeks, especially probably early, and I said this when we first started the show, they're going to have an international weekend where everybody goes and plays, and I think they should marry up sister cities. I know they've already given up marketing rights to different teams.
They have, you're right.
And you're going to ask these guys to go, and like what they're doing with the Rams and the 49ers is absurd.
The 49ers are playing 2 international games.
But they're flying to Australia, which is, I don't know, 12, 13-hour flight.
We'll take caller 4,712.
They're going over there to play a game that both of those teams are going to be playoff teams, at least on paper.
Theoretically,
beforehand.
yep. Mm-hmm.
And that game is going to be on a Thursday in Melbourne or Sydney or wherever it's going to be. It's so you're not doing this. You're trying to grow the game, and you've done a good job. I'm not taking anything away from what they're doing, but the thing I want to stop saying you care. The player safety component to this is not there. Like, it's just not, and you can't have one without the other. Players know, and let's just be straight with what you're doing. Just like you want your coaches to be honest with you about your roles.
Yep.
Let's, as owners, just say, listen, man, we want to make more money. This is going to do it, and the players are going to have to come along with us. Yeah, and it's going to grow the pie, and then they'll get a share of that pie. We're going to try and limit what that share is, but that's what this is, and that's okay. That's business, and it's up to you if you want to partake in it. And if you don't, you don't have to. But most guys are going to.
So a couple things. First of all, our buddy Coach Mack is on board with you. Just let him know which week you want to boycott, and he's with you.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. Jesse, I know. The one thing I know, I don't have to ask Jesse. He'll silently boycott and either watch his dog for a month or go down to St. Louis and go back to that Airbnb he had so much fun in.
What I was actually thinking was I don't like the idea of the first 4 when they expanded the NCAA tournament, but I still watch the games every year.
Correct. Great example.
And if Wisconsin was ever in it or Marquette was ever in it, like I would I'm not going to boycott it just because it exists.
Yeah,
I'm just disappointed that it does exist.
Yeah, I would.
That's completely different. That is not a good parallel.
In this story from ESPN, the owners are all saying it. They keep we want to make sure that we're doing what's right from a player safety perspective.
Yeah, it's not anything to do.
Get the hell out of here with that.
All you have to say is we want to get our revenue to $30 billion, and with that, the players, we're going to take good care of the former guys. We're going to take care of the current guys. And for the record, they've given these conditions where there's less practice, and I'm sitting here as an old guy saying, I can't believe they only got 13 padded practice. We had 53. Hey, tough luck, bro. And, people, we had it better than what Nitschke and the boys had. We at least got water. Mm-hmm. We got to drink water.
Yeah. All right. I get very tired of the.
Well, it's fairly obvious what happened. We all know that they won 18 games. They said it when they kind of took the baby step to get to 17, which I got to be honest, I never thought with DeMaurice Smith leading the charge that would happen. It did. This 18 is going to happen, and I won't be shocked at some point if we get to 20 with no preseason.
No preseason. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think 20 will be 20 is your bell cow end all. That is, they won't go more than 20. I don't think.
It's going to be a lot of games.
I don't love the fact that that's going to end up limiting what the Bishop's Charities game is going to be. I don't like that. That's always one of those games I always enjoy.
They're going to start playing the Bishop's Charities game during the World Baseball Classic, and that'll solve everything. Look, you don't have to get on a plane or a cruise ship to go to an international NFL game to feel like you've gotten away. All you got to do is go down to Milwaukee and Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. And you're only steps away from everything that's happening inside. And if you're hungry, you've got so many options, from premium steaks at Dream Dance Steakhouse to quick bites at the Marketplace, Rock and Brews, which is my personal favorite, Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, which is on my to-do list for our next visit to Potawatomi, plus Cream City Coffee Company, food and drink specials happening all the time. And if you're planning a wedding, a birthday, or an anniversary, the event spaces there, they are built to make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place. Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Hey fans, John Kuhn here, team captain of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and there's a reason it's considered the Midwest premier place to bet on all your favorite sports. The full bar, awesome dining, 2,000 square foot screen, and nearly 100 betting kiosks makes for an unbeatable playbook. Bet above the rest. Only at Potawatomi Sportsbook in Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhardt Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhardt Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spirit wear is vital. That's why Burkhardt Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spirit wear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spirit wear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhardt.
You can't beat Burkhardt.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
2026 Brewers Group tickets are on sale now, and planning your next event at American Family Field has never been easier. Whether it's a company outing, family reunion, or night out with friends, bring your group of 15 or more to the ballpark and enjoy up to 25% off single game tickets with no service fees. All Brewers home games are available now. Start planning today, and a Brewers Group ticket rep will handle the rest. But hurry, tickets are moving fast. Plan your 2026 outing at brewers.com/groups.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Continuing on Wilde Tausch, we're kind of all over the map today. And I know we talked about this last week, but I went to Lambeau yesterday. I'm cleaning out my office, bubble wrapping a lot of bobbleheads as we are moving to a different location, and Jason Wallers and the PR staff are very concerned about me packing everything up. Got a lot to move, but I'm doing it day by day. But I also did my Channel 3 hits from there, and I talked about what Ed Policy said at the NFL meetings about the idea of naming rights for Lambeau Field. And we talked about that, and rightfully so, when it first popped, when he said something in an interview. But I went back into my archives, old T, and when Mark Murphy talked about it a decade ago, he basically said, never say never, but it's never happening. And there is a shift, because I think everyone took it as, oh, well, then he came out and said, I don't see that happening. The phrase that Ed Policy used, both in that interview last month with the Sports Business Journal, and then again with the guys that were at the NFL meetings in Arizona, certainly no time soon. Well, that's not the same as never. And you always tell me never's a long time. We should have told Mark Murphy that in 2015 after the shareholders meeting then, because that's basically what he said. And now it ain't never. It's certainly no time soon.
Yeah, that's why you never say never in sports. There's, Favre's never going to get traded. Peyton Manning's never going to get traded. Tom Brady's never going to play anywhere besides New England. Yeah. Sports are funny like that. And so private equity starts getting in play, And I think everybody, and I do think, and you said this when it happened, that does make Green Bay nervous.
It does.
Because Green Bay is not allowed to do that.
They have $579 million at the last report in their corporate reserve fund.
Where do they invest that? We should ask them, see if Annex does anything with them.
And we should invite them to see if they can beat
win in
Tausch.
this webinar. Yeah.
Now as you well know, they have naming rights deals with all of their gates. Some of them are former Wilde Tausch partners. 2 of them are old school with us from the jump partners in Associated Bank and American Family Insurance. So those I will mention on our program. There are no ice cream vendors that have a gate, so I won't go any further than that. They also have a sponsor for their tailgate village. But one of the things that Ed Policy mentioned was perhaps naming rights for other aspects that aren't Lambeau Field. So the Don Hutson Center, the Clark Hinkle practice field, Ray Nitschke practice field, other than Clark Hinkle's family, Don Hutson's family, and Ray Nitschke's family, I'm going to guess that there probably are people that will say, yeah, go right ahead. If that's going to help the bottom line and help us compete, go for it. The Crick, I don't know if they really do, and nobody ever sees the Crick, so I don't know about that. I just want to, again, reiterate that when you say things like certainly no time soon, that means that it doesn't mean that it's off the table. It doesn't mean that they're never going to do this. So be prepared. And again, I am super curious if it does happen during my lifetime, whether that company, whoever it may be, will get the bang for the buck that they want from it, and there's not backlash on top of it and people just calling it Lambeau Field anyway, and the only time you hear such and such field will be on TV broadcasts where they're required to do it.
I don't envision this happening anytime soon.
Certainly no time soon.
Yeah.
Mark Tauscher and Ed Policy both said. Mr. Tauscher and Mr. Policy. I am curious what other revenue streams they can create, because one of the other things that Ed Policy said, which I understand, many fans are fine with it, without any of those revenue streams that teams with deep-pocketed owners or who can sell to private equity have going for them, we're going to have to be very smart and very methodical in really our business model. It means being very thoughtful in ticket pricing. Thoughtful would be a euphemism there for continuing to raise the price. Very thoughtful in some other sponsorship inventory we have, like our practice facility and our training facility. So there you go. That's where things stand with the naming rights idea. We're going to play trivia a little bit later in the program. But I am curious. Jesse, are we doing double trivia today?
We are, because we took too many calls yesterday on ABS.
ABS.
Yeah.
What does ABS stand for? Automatic
balls and strikes.
Okay. But it's not automatic. Why do they call it ABS? It's
automated. Let me check. I thought that's what I don't actually know.
All right, I don't want to get bogged down in that. The reason I ask is I'm hearing some rumblings that we may try to play end of show trivia, which you know.
Yeah, we haven't done that. We haven't done that in a long time.
We have not done that in a long time.
You especially.
That's true. Well, I can tell you this.
What are you why are you so fascinated about the naming rights? Because we did hammer on this a while ago when it first came out. Like, are you generally concerned about it, or why are you so you seem overly intrigued by it?
No, I think it's a couple things. You know what? I'll answer that question.
Automated ball strike system.
That's better.
ABS.
That makes
so
more
it's
sense.
the ABSS.
No
Yes,
BS in
ball,
that A.
But ball strike is hyphenated, so therefore it's ABS.
I don't think it works that way. I think they should call it the ABS. I'll answer Tausch's question why I'm so intrigued by this next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Your state, your teams.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
That's why I said the toughest part to me for the Packers is that the division is, I think, better than it's been.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
So the issue is, and I'm working on the T-shirt right now, this season is very simple.
This guy.
Got to win the damn division.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Now through April 5th, when you spend $50, you get 30% off, and you get 2 free pair of socks with the code SOCKS2. That's socks and the number 2. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This is Coach Greg Gard. Strong teams succeed with the right partners. Bank CMG works closely with Wisconsin business owners, offering local insight, modern tools, and honest guidance you can trust. They take the time to understand your goals and help you build something sustainable. Whether you're managing cash flow, planning for growth, or navigating change, having the right banking partner matters. When your business matters, your bank should too. BankCMG.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. A couple of months ago, I knew one thing for sure. I had the girl. What I didn't know was what came next. Luckily, a friend of mine told me about the team at Robert Hack Diamonds and the job they do, getting you from knowing you have the girl to down on one knee. I had never been through this process before buying an engagement ring. I had an idea of what she wanted. She'd sent me pictures of some hints and some ideas, but I wanted it to be special and different, and that's where Robert Hack Diamonds came in. They created my fiance's dream ring, and it made that moment, that yes, that much more special. So if you, like me, know you've got the girl, but don't really know what comes next, go see the team at Robert Hack Diamonds. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 1 in Greenfield, where I went, and 2 in Brookfield, north and south. Their custom jewelry is made on site, lab-grown options, natural diamond options, and all the in-betweens. Stop in today or visit them online, roberthackdiamonds.com. That's Robert Hack, H-A-A-C-K, diamonds.com. And after you get that yes, like me, you'll say, heck yeah, thanks to Robert Hack Diamonds.
The Island Resort and Casino welcomes you to another unforgettable golf season at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Beginning in July, stay and play guests can preview the brand new 9-hole Cedar course, inspired by the golden age of golf. At the Island, your golf trip becomes a full resort experience with relaxing spa treatments and exceptional dining to thrilling casino action. Courses open May 1st. Plan your golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
sitting here worrying about, I'm going to have to get used to calling it, Widget Stadium or whatever, or writing it in my stories. That's not why I'm intrigued by this. So I think it's important. And look, I am very grateful that the Packers have been competitive and interesting for virtually all of my 30 years of covering the team. I don't cheer for them, but I'm certainly glad that they are not a perennial losing franchise, and I'm not covering the football equivalent of the Chicago White Sox losing 120 games or whatever they did last year. That said, it is my job to also have a skeptical eye, and some would argue that I'm not skeptical enough. Others would say that I'm so negative, which I don't get, but be that as it may. Which I know people are now counting in the YouTube comments how many times I used that phrase.
Which one? You're curious?
Be that as it may.
I thought it was I'm curious, because I'm curious. It's been a lot, because you're a curious kitten today.
I'm a curious guy.
I wonder how many
Curious
times
George.
you do say be that as it may in a given week.
A lot of curious, too.
That said, which is another one of mine.
Yeah.
What's my big crutch?
Old boy?
Nah, I don't say
Schnorter.
that often. Today it's been Schnorty.
So if you recall,
Mark Tauscher here.
Mark Murphy here. There was this push, which I'm guessing they're gearing up for again, to no longer pay taxes as a team to Brown County. Which again, I hope our house never starts on fire, but I would like to have the local municipalities have the money to come and put the fire out. But I find myself wondering if some of this isn't posturing, and I don't want to go so far as to call it fear-mongering. But I do find myself wondering, because I was just at Lambeau yesterday, and they're still expanding the equipment room, and they just redid the training room, and we know they got the new locker room last year. They are not a poverty franchise. They are not struggling financially. Now, again, what they're doing today does not mean that that's what's going to be happening in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. I get it. But I do think their fear of someone like Stephen Ross, who I believe this is further now closer to the goal line for the Dolphins, he's going to sell 1% of his ownership stake. So he still keeps 99% of the team. And that 1% he's going to get $125 million for, because he has a $12.5 billion valuation on his team. My question is, if we have revenue sharing, if we have the enormous money that comes in, $430+ million per team, and it's going to go up again this year, in revenue sharing from the TV contracts, how much do you have to worry about the revenue streams locally that it's a big enough deal to be talking about this stuff? That's where my skepticism comes in. That's why I'm curious about this.
Yeah, you never know the business climate, and it can change, and there's unknowns, and you always want to be prepared. And obviously, Green Bay has done a great job, starting with Bob Harlan, going through Mark, and then up to Mr. Policy now with having a cash reserve. But if you weathered the COVID era the way the NFL did, you're going to be just fine. Now, adding games and doing you better make sure that part's strong. And there's other things that they have to worry about. The TV contracts, and there's some clamoring about everybody kind of working together to work deals out, and the monopoly. There's a lot of things. They always have to be on high alert.
Sure.
So I understand all of that, but there will never be a time where it's not going to be Lambeau Field. There could be a blank at Lambeau Field or something like that, and as long as that stays whole, I don't think Packer fans are going to have a problem. And by the way, if it helps and the Packers need to do that in order to win, and they sell it and talk about it in the right way, fans will forgive.
Sure.
They will be fine. So that's
They'll
why I just was curious
Field.
why you're so... Because I thought it was interesting when I first heard it 2-3 weeks ago. Now, all of the stuff Ed Policy said this weekend or at the owners' meetings. I thought that was one of the least interesting things. So I just was curious why you found it so interesting.
Well, I have news for you. In an email just now received in my inbox from the great Katie Hermson, who is a proud UW alum and from our J school and one of my favorite people that work in the building, we have a naming rights deal. Amplify Health Field. That's the field at Titletown where Jesse kicked that terrible field goal attempt that he blamed on the overinflated football.
Oh, it wasn't because of the turf at Amplify Field?
It was, well, it could have been, I guess, if they needed to redo it, but I noticed the ball was incredibly overinflated.
Well, that's what they said at the Final Four, or at the NCAA tournament. The balls are too inflated. That's why Tom Brady wasn't a basketball player.
And believe it or not, it looks like we lost the video of that. I was hoping we might have had that on standby.
It's a tough one to lose.
Lost that one.
It's very suspect that that's been lost.
We do happen to have this first pitch from Greg Gard, though.
It's good.
Which was a lot better than old T's first pitch.
That's true, it was. I can't argue with you on that.
Yeah.
How did you lose the kick? Anyways, so Jason, that's where I'm saying, like, is anybody upset that they call that Amplify Field? No, they don't. Is anybody
nobody
upset?
cares.
Right. I think the Hudson Center, I'll be a little bit taken aback when they rename that and if they redo it, because I spent a lot of time in there. But, yeah, it is what it is, man, as I so eloquently put with Evan Cohen on Tuesday.
Indeed it is. All right, we'll play trivia during the 11 o'clock hour. We'll also look at some projected win totals and play some Take It to the Bank. That's all still ahead when we start the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the planet and its people for nearly 50 years. Earth Justice has 150 full-time lawyers fighting in court for our planet's future and representing all clients free of charge. Until people come before profit, all energy is clean, the wild is truly free, and justice stands for all. Earth Justice will never rest. Learn more at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch begins now, and I turn it over to Jesse Nelson, our resident over, under, more, less wagerer, as we plan to go down next Wednesday to Hard Rock Casino Rockford for a show.
I wonder, what do you think Jordan Love MVP odds are going to be at? Going to be worse or better than last year?
We'll get to check it. It'll be worse than last year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
I tell you what, nobody wanted to see the month.
I'll tell you what, man.
Nobody wanted to see the month of March come to an end worse than I did.
Well, you crushed it, I thought.
Wait, did I say that wrong? I did not want the month of March to end because I was on an all-time heater with some wagers going back to the opening round of the tournament and further.
I'm going to predict that April will not be as kind.
April showers, perhaps. So, there was an article that surfaced from ESPN NFL writer Ben Solak. You may be familiar with his work over at ESPN.com. So this came out actually just a week or two after free agency really kind of started to calm down. We haven't gotten to it yet. But he examines the updated win projections for all 32 teams. You know, some of those numbers that came out from the end of the season, they shifted a little bit once some free agents came and went from different teams. And then those numbers will shift again after the NFL draft and then when the schedule comes out. So it makes, we have a trip coming to the Hard Rock next Wednesday, but then we have another one in May. And so the question becomes, when do we want to get in on the Packers win total if that's something we're interested in? Because you're playing whether it's going to go down, go up,
depending on how the
same.
draft goes. If they get a home run hitter, at least people view it that way. Yeah.
Correct. So, and then same thing with the schedule layout. If you look at the schedule and they go to Munich and then come back and play right away against somebody that might be projected half a win less and whatnot. So anyway, the Packers.
So can you get in? My question though, before you do this. So on next Wednesday, you can get in on they will have projections.
Oh yeah,
won't they?
Yes. Yeah, every team has a posted projection win total for the season right now.
And for those of us that aren't expert wagerers like Mr. Heater himself, what is the risk that we would be taking, or you would be taking, by getting in now as opposed to, say, after the draft when maybe you feel differently about this team's chances?
So I want to use a non-Packers team because we're going to get to the Packers. So let's say the Buffalo Bills. They're going through some changes this offseason. Right after the season, they fire their coach. They hire Joe Brady. It's not the biggest hire that everyone expected. That win total projection may be down at 8.5. I'm making that number up. Let's say the Bills win total is right now 8.5. And then turns out, they have a good free agent class that comes in that goes up to 9.5. And then they draft somebody that everybody's really excited about as a receiver, and it might go up to 10 or 10.5. And so you're looking at a potential 1 or 2 game difference from the start of the offseason versus where it ends up.
Okay.
Or opposite, if it's a team that's going to be bad and you want to take the under, but then that might go down, like the Dolphins. Okay, they hire Halfley, it might be at 6.5, and then they trade their 2 receivers and it goes down to 5.5.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for explaining that to me. I appreciate that.
That's where the strategy comes in, and when you want to get in on it.
Just wake me up when you guys are done.
Okay, you can wake up now. The Green Bay Packers projected win total as it stands right now for
But it gets 10.
Pretty close. 10.5. 10.5.
Maybe thinking to G&G be balling.
And Ben Solak, in his article at ESPN.com, says bet the under.
What's Ben's reason? I bet you because Mike, you don't know when Mike is going to be back, and you don't know when Tucker's going to be back.
A lot of uncertainty. The rest of the division appears to be getting better this offseason. The Lions are playing a last-place schedule. And if you believe basically that the Bears are for real and they're going to keep fighting the Packers for the top of the division, he says bet the under on the Green Bay Packers.
If Packer fans had a bet right now as we sit here on the 2nd of April, no April Fools, none of it, are we winning the division? Because that 10.5, you get over that, you're probably winning the division. That's really what Ben Solak is asking. Do we believe that as we sit here right now, understanding and thinking and hoping that the injured players will be back for a vast majority of next season, are you betting that the Packers win the division, or are you betting that they don't? Because that's what this question is. What you're asking via Ben Solak's over-under projection, you're saying, are they good enough to win the division next year? Jason Wilde, you say?
Wake me when you're done asking that question. I would say this. I think they're going to be a 10-win team.
That's real rich coming from you, by the way.
Well, not everyone is an adept wagerer. I thought that was worthwhile, and I appreciate you
I'm glad you
poo-pooing
guys did. That doesn't mean I had to, right?
Yeah, because that's a great teammate. Wake me when you guys are done with this.
Bad teammate.
All right, yeah.
So, there's a reason why the folks that set these lines, and is this Ben setting this, or is he getting this from somewhere else?
This is from whatever sports book.
Okay,
ESPN
I just wanted to clarify
works directly
because
with,
I don't know what Ben's track record is, but like I'm looking at the Packers' 2026 opponents. Okay, we don't know. Schedule's not out yet. Their home opponents.
Have we gotten a taste yet? Are we going to be overseas somewhere? Are we doing one of those?
There are still two possibilities, as we discussed on this program. They could still play the Saints in Paris.
Oh, oui.
Because they have a road game at New Orleans, and New Orleans is the dedicated home team for the Paris game.
Okay.
And I still can't believe, I don't understand why they would do this, but they're doing it with the Rams and the 49ers. The Packers could be the opponent for the Detroit Lions in Munich. And the Detroit Lions would then not play the Packers at Ford Field. They'd be giving up a home game against the division team. I would argue that you should not have division games overseas.
I'll sign up with that club.
I don't think that that's right. The Packers' home opponents and away opponents outside of their divisional opponents. Their home games are against Atlanta, Buffalo, Carolina, Miami, Houston, and Dallas. They also have 9 home games this year, and they are assured of not having to give one up for an international game.
How do you get assured on that?
Because the only 2 games that aren't set yet involve teams that are giving up home games. So they can't be that team.
Okay.
Their road schedule. The 3 division opponents, as I mentioned, the Saints, the Patriots, the Jets, the Rams, and the Buccaneers.
Well, the Rams.
So now that you have that information,
Rams will be a home game.
Yeah.
Buccaneers is close to a home game, especially if they're late in the year.
So then you're taking the more on 10.5.
I think this is a good team. Yeah.
I have greater skepticism than you. I feel really good.
You want to know why I would not do it? And it's strictly, I don't know how our O-line is going to be. If our O-line is what it was last year.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Oh, well, I'm sorry for interjecting.
No,
Continue.
You're not.
You're right. I'm not.
Bad teammate.
That's what I've been told.
So
by one person.
You've made that point repeatedly, and I think you're exactly right. There is reason to be skeptical about their offensive line. And as you well know from your playing career, if your offensive line goes to hell, the rest of the offense
very hard to overcome that. You could have Superman back there playing quarterback, and it's very difficult to overcome.
His throwing motion, sus. However.
Which one?
Depends which Superman.
Clark Kent or
woke
Chris
Superman.
Reeves?
I don't know about him as we refer to him here, but I would say Christopher Reeve's throwing motion back in the day I was skeptical of.
Long follow-through, if I remember, though.
Throws something in the movie, if I recall correctly. All right.
Still think when he's throwing those tires at old Superman and those two fought each other, best part of Superman of all time, in that dump. And then he throws him up against it, puts him on the elevator, he comes back up. That's when, yeah, Hunter, I see you out there. That's when Superman was Superman.
The long-running Superman rivalry continues. All right, so you're taking the over, Jesse's taking the over, and I'm taking the under. I think they're a 10-win team. I think that's a really challenging place to put the line. And I'm curious to see what they do in the draft with only 7 picks and without a first-round pick.
Boy, that number, I think it was 9.5 last year.
It was.
We thought we was cruising.
Indeed.
And instead we got a bruising because of that Viking. Because of Clayton Tune, that old rascal. If only Clayton Tune could play a little bit, we would have been cashing down at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. But unfortunately, that's not how it played out.
Not sure it was his fault. Talking
you
about
think
a no-win
he's sitting there with with his version of Robin Williams sitting there and they're He's just saying how he got battered, beaten around, and couldn't move the ball and get it past the 50-yard line. And old Robin Williams is just sitting there saying, Tooney, it's not your fault, man.
Jesse and Tausch would have been laughing their way to the bank, and instead
they threw you under the bus, Clayt, and then they cut you like you were nutting.
Not your
the
fault.
only person,
it's not
Clayton
your
Toon's
fault,
the only
Tooner.
person who should be more disappointed than you two are.
He is
about the way
his
that worked out.
disgruntlement has got to be. I actually think we should pull him from the honorable mention, and I probably should have looked a little bit longer at him being the first
Hall of
overall
Fame
pick.
disgruntled.
It really is.
I don't know who they did worse, and I can't think of anybody than Clayton Toon.
It's a really good point. Like, you're talking about in, like, history.
The history of the organization.
Yes. I would tend to agree.
I mean, what a wolf throw. Like, that is as much of a wolf throw as you could possibly have had.
Do you think they did something for him under the table?
I certainly hope they, like, threw him some nice merch
Buy
on
him
the way
a
out
house
the door.
or something. Like, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
Nah.
And they could have at least brought him back on the practice squad, and they didn't even do that.
I hope that they gave him unlimited slide rides during the winter. Like, that's literally every player that is released at this point now should get unlimited slide rides at Aaron's Hill. Like, that should be the least. You give them a plane ticket. It used to be you'd get a bus ticket and a map and an apple. That's what they'd give you. Now, they could go, I think they should have these little cards, and they should hand them out, and they should say, now, if you leave on your own volition, you don't get it. But if you get cut, I'd like Mr. Policy to give an unlimited slide ride down that hill.
So you want Goody
Quay
to
Walker doesn't get that.
No, Goody.
Goody
you can
calls
mail
him
it.
in.
No. It's because it's emotional and it's raw. You cut guys, but just think when if you're a veteran and you leave, they'll ship your stuff in a box. Just put a card in there. Say, hey man, we appreciate your service. You get unlimited slide
Desmond
rides.
Ritter, sorry, you're not
And
going
I'm
to end
not
up
even
making
saying
the team.
you don't even have to give it to their kids. Like, just to you as the patriarch of the family.
Stop by and see Jeannie on the way out. She's got a couple of vouchers
So wait,
for you to go
you
down
would
the
be
hill.
eligible for this because you were released.
Yeah, no, I'd love to get that card. That'd be fun. The old sled hill.
You'll have to settle for having the best windows in the world from Pella.
No
Windows
doubt
and
I
Doors
have
of
the best
Wisconsin.
windows and doors, and they're from Pella. And if you've been putting off replacing those windows and or doors, now is the time, because Pella of Wisconsin's offering 0% financing all the way to 2030. That's right, 0% interest till 2030 in Wisconsin. Your home does take a beating year-round. The right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost energy efficiency, and upgrade your home's look. Pella's experts will help you find the perfect fit for your home and within your budget, and with 0 interest for till 2030. You can upgrade now, pay over time, and you're not going to pay a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to get started.
We'll play some Take It to the Bank next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way, I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Calling all seafood lovers, the lobster salad sub is officially back at Cousin Subs. Fresh lobster mixed with our creamy signature mayo, topped with tomato and onion, served over crisp lettuce, and finished with a sprinkle of Old Bay. All on our fresh-baked Italian bread. It's a crave-worthy classic you can enjoy in store, online, or on the app, but only through April 5th. So catch it while you can. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
You've always been competitive, at work, in the gym, even with your kids. But lately you feel off.
Workouts take longer to recover from. Your drive just isn't there. You know, it might not be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Mentality, we'll get to the bottom of what's really going on and build a personalized plan using testosterone replacement and peptide therapies to help restore your energy, focus, and drive. Get back the energy to being dad again. Book your appointment with Mentality at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
Some drinks just belong in the summer rotation, and the new carbless lemon iced tea vodka 4-pack is one of them. This limited release blends refreshing lemon iced tea flavor with smooth vodka and no carbonation for a crisp, easy drinking sip that feels right at home on the porch, by the water, or by the grill. Cool, classic, and full of summer flavor, it's got the makings of a seasonal staple. The new carbless lemon iced tea vodka 4-pack. Go to drinkcarbless.com to find carbless brand new flavor near you and grab it while you can.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to NBA play-by-play announcer Michael Grady. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Writing for a page, letters for you. She can't top all the things I do. Chasing your love, boy, I'm in pursuit. And time is of the essence. All the second guessing, asking too many questions. I'm just being honest, baby boy. I made you the exception. Kick it up a notch. Let me teach you this lesson. Rule number one.
Jesse's favorite no-cost music leads into something with new music. Take it to the bank. Wow!
This royalty free?
Yeah!
This is good.
Pretty good, huh? We'll miss the OJs, but this is a good substitute. Take it to the bank, presented by Associated Bank. Inspired by the over-under win projection best bet article from Ben Solak that got our conversation started last segment. A couple of other teams mentioned in this article, specifically in the NFC North. So we begin with the Detroit Lions. Ben Solak says take the under on 10.5 wins for the Lions, playing a last-place schedule in 2026. You want to take that to the bank, Tausch? Under 10.5 for the Lions?
I mean, I look at this as it's going to be congested in that 11 to 8 range. Detroit having the softer schedule. They're going to be fresher because obviously they didn't have any postseason. I don't know where they're going to be O-line-wise. They obviously are talking about moving Penei Sewell out to left tackle. That leaves right tackle open. The center position, that's a question mark, just like it is in Chicago, just like it is in Green Bay, frankly. I'll go under, but boy, I think they're going to be 10-11. I mean, I think it's going to be right there. And how they do against the Green Bay Packers in Munich and or in Detroit, Boy, if I'm them, I am not letting that game get out of Detroit.
I'm not either. Nope. Team Tausch on that. I'm going to take more. I think they're going to end up with 11 wins. Because, as Tausch points out, that last place schedule, which I know only affects a couple of games, but a couple of games can be the difference between winning your division and not.
Boy, I'll tell you, they went from having the best O-line when they had Ragnow and Decker and whoever has the best O-line. Normally, I always look quarterback. I think the quarterbacks, I would say Jordan Love and Goff are the most accomplished. I'd put those two at the top, and then, Caleb Williams deserves some credit, but he's still, you can't live in this league throwing in the 50% completion. You can't. They're either going to get that fixed or they're going to find out it's going to be a rough one if they don't get that figured out. But everybody's O-lines have taken a hit. Who replenishes and replaces better is going to be the big question mark. Detroit dropped off last year, I do believe, when their center retired. They begged him to come back. Now they're scratching to get money back from, which is garbage. If he's a quarterback, they ain't doing that. So that's why players should never retire. Make them cut you, because then that cash stays in your pocket. So Frank is learning that lesson. Hopefully they get that figured out, because I think he deserves it. But whoever gets their O-line fixed is going to win the division. Whoever's O-line is the best is going to win the division next year. And all of them have questions.
You mentioned Caleb Williams. Let's move on then to the Chicago Bears. Take it to the bank. Ben Solak says take the over on 9.5 wins for the Bears, the reigning NFC North champions.
Playing a first-place schedule.
Yeah, I'm taking the under. I think they'll be fine. And it could be one of those deals where they're better this year, but their results, they won a lot of close games.
Uh-huh.
They had a lot of late-game heroics, and that's great. It gives you that toughness, and it gives you that belief that you can win, but it also can be fluky. And if I'm them, I'm a little spooky, because that doesn't always figure its way into it. When you're playing with turnovers and that's what you're relying on, I don't believe in the Bears' defense. I think they have a long way to go to try and fix that, because that defense was not very good last year.
This one I'm going to agree with Tausch on. I am a skeptic. They won 6 games last year. 6 in which they were trailing at the 2-minute warning. And that doesn't even include the playoff game. Those were the regular season games. So I think they are going to have a better team with a worse record, like I believe we talked about as a possibility for the Packers in recent years as well. Next.
Last one, and take it to the bank, presented by Associated Bank. Keep it in the NFC North. Minnesota Vikings with Kyler Murray coming in. Ben Solak says take the over on 8.5 projected wins. He basically thinks every NFC North team's going 10-7. Minnesota Vikings over 8.5 wins. You want to take that to the bank?
Look at what happened last year. That's about where everybody was. I think the Bears had 11. Everybody else was at 9. Right? That's Minnesota's such a crapshoot to me. I believe in KOC, but I don't believe in Kyler Murray. So I'm going to go less. I think they're an 8-win team.
They were a 9-win team last year thanks to their historic win in the regular season finale at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis.
Heard that was unbelievable.
It was extremely well covered. I appreciate you reading the game story because it was fascinating. I think more importantly, I don't believe necessarily in Kyler Murray either, but I believe in the weaponry he's going to have to work with, and I think he's going to be better than what they had last year. Obviously, not a very high bar. So I think he's going to be good enough to get them to 9 or maybe even 10 wins. This all does underscore what Tausch said from the jump about this division. Like, it's going to be interesting because any of these teams can win this division. At least that's how I view it. So I'm going to take more on the 8.5.
Yeah, and when you start looking around, just in the NFC, it used to be, the NFC West. Well, the NFC West is the big dog division right now. That's how last year played out. The NFC North is right there. I think the NFC East is going to be really competitive. I think the Giants are going to be better. it is right now. You don't have the clear separation. Last year, I thought Lions-Pack. I thought Rams-Niners. And I thought the Eagles. And then whatever in the South, right? If Tampa wants to sneak in or if Atlanta wants to sneak in. I didn't have Carolina. It's just, it continues to show just how tight everything is and how all of those little things matter so much when it comes to this. And we're going to find that out again this year. You can't lose games like you did against Cleveland. When you have games that you should win, you need to win them because there are going to be some of these other games that you don't know. Balls bounce the wrong way, you drop an onside kick, and those things cost you positioning, and that positioning costs you better opportunities to win playoff games.
Right. I mean, I always think back to the 2012 season. Packers go into Minnesota. If they beat the Vikings, not only do they keep the Vikings out of the playoffs, but they also lock up the division title, a first-round
That's when
bye.
AP went crazy, right?
Yes, and he had that huge game. And then, instead of the Packers having a bye, the 49ers do. And the 49ers install all that read option stuff that they had not done with Colin Kaepernick all season during their bye week. And then they get cooked by Colin Kaepernick to the tune of 180 rushing yards.
Did you say tune?
Indeed, I did.
To the Clayton tune of.
That poor guy. Poor widow Tooney. But that's one game. Everything changes with one game. So you're right. Do I think that the Packers are winning the Super Bowl if they don't blow the lead and blow the game in Cleveland? I do not. Not based on where they were. But I'll tell you this, maybe they're not playing the Chicago Bears in Chicago, and the momentum of a 25-point fourth quarter doesn't start rolling on them and getting Bears fans who are usually giving the Packers the finger and booing them to be loud and cheering for their team instead.
It's an annoying crew this offseason, no doubt. It's an annoying crew.
Definitely
but it's good,
a lot.
In the grand scheme, it is good for ball. It's not good for us, but it's good for ball.
It's true. It's very good for ball. So is switching to Associated Bank. That is Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank. And if you haven't made the switch, go to AssociatedBank.com right now to find out more. You can find out more about early pay, get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit from your employer. Credit monitoring to make sure you're ready for that big purchase like ours was with Steinhoffel's and getting our new furniture. And, of course, keeping an eye on you if you've been subjected, like I was, to some fraud. They've got that, plus Brewers checking, Badgers checking, and Packers checking. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. We need to play trivia, and we need to play 2 rounds of it. And we need to play it next. It is Wilde Tausch Trivia, Wisconsin Geography, Wednesday and Thursday Trivia, presented by Iron Jock.
I'm intrigued.
And by Cousin Subs. Jesse, which 2 callers would you like?
Let's take caller 10 and caller 20. Nice round numbers.
Caller 10 and caller 20 will play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs. Next, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. We will play trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
The Island Resort and Casino welcomes you to another unforgettable golf season at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Beginning in July, stay and play guests can preview the brand new 9-hole Cedar course, inspired by the golden age of golf. At the island, your golf trip becomes a full resort experience with relaxing spa treatments and exceptional dining to thrilling casino action. Courses open May 1st. Plan your golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
How are things at Kessler's Greenfield, Kelly?
Fantastic. I heard you have an idea for springtime. I love spring. I have a big collection of new life to show you.
New life is a spring thing.
Show us. I call it crosses and clovers. These are amazing. Well done, Kelly.
These are stunningly unique.
Kelly, the surface of this 4-leaf clover is fantastic. What's it made of? Sarah, the surface of that lucky 4-leaf clover is made of crushed black diamonds. Wow. I'm buying this one. How much? $185. In yellow gold vermeil, it's just $270. This cross, $90.
And these initials pendants?
These are $60.
Clovers, crosses, and personalized pendants.
And a leprechaun that says they're magically delicious. Sarah, that's a breakfast cereal.
Kelly, you've done well.
Extremely well. Extremely very well. Happy springtime, everyone.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
2026 Brewers Group tickets are on sale now, and planning your next event at American Family Field has never been easier. Whether it's a company outing, family reunion, or night out with friends, bring your group of 15 or more to the ballpark and enjoy up to 25% off single game tickets with no service fees. All Brewers home games are available now. Start planning today, and a Brewers Group ticket rep will handle the rest. But hurry, tickets are moving fast. Plan your 2026 outing at brewers.com/groups.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been on this journey since January and already lost 30 pounds. It's been easy, safe, and their team continue to help me reach my goals. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. And for a limited time, get $200 off the spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. When you work smart, incredible things can happen. By joining Smart 18, the union for Wisconsin sheet metal workers, you'll open the door to a brighter future. You'll learn and earn more. Enjoy awesome benefits across the board. Build a great career and feel empowered and supported every step of the way. The smartest career decision you'll ever make starts with Smart 18. Find out more today at smart18info.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
It is time for double Wisconsin Geography Wednesday on a Thursday trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs.
Wilde Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. It's lobster season at Cousin Subs. Their lobster salad sub is fresh, flavorful, and only here for a limited time. Try it today.
So glad that we still are able to play that music. It makes me happy. Let's welcome in our contestants. First caller 10 and contestant numero uno is Brian in Williams Bay. Brian, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Not quite as nice as last week, but we're still doing well.
Well, we wish you the best and best of luck with your questions. And our second contestant, caller 20, is Scott in Browntown. Scott, I will save you the questions I asked the last time about the location of Browntown and this and that and the next thing, and say welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We are great. All right, here we go. Question number 1, Brian.
Tausch has disappeared, by the way, for those who may be interested. Don't talk to him. He's gone.
Question number 1, Brian, is this. Which of these Wisconsin cities is located in a county of the same name? Is it Fond du Lac County and Fond du Lac, the city, Oshkosh, or Spread Eagle?
Fond du Lac.
Spread Eagle?
Way up north. Got a big fan of Jim, Matt, and Molly who text in from Spread Eagle a lot.
Are you sure that that's not a fictional...
It is a real place. I looked it up. Yeah.
That's an interesting name for a town. All right, Scott, question number 1 for you. This may sound familiar. Which of these Wisconsin cities is located in a county by the same name? Is it Eau Claire, Madison, or Dallas?
We have to go with Eau Claire.
There is a Madison County, or at least there was a book about it, but that is not obviously where Madison is located.
Yeah.
Well done. Both of you are off to perfect starts. Is the perfect week still intact?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
So all the pressure's off there. All right, question 2, Brian, is this. In which Wisconsin city can attractions like the Blue Harbor Resort and the Lottie Cooper Shipwreck at Deland Park be found? Is that in Sheboygan, Wisconsin Dells, or Lake Geneva?
Sheboygan.
Indeed. Been to Blue Harbor Resort. Nice place. Enjoyed that.
Can't say I've been.
A lot of water park action. I think you'd enjoy that. All right, question 2, Scott. In which Wisconsin city can attractions like the Circus World Museum and Devil's Lake State Park be found? Would that be in La Crosse, Baraboo, or Junction City?
I believe it's probably Baraboo.
It is indeed Baraboo. And you are 2 for 2, both of you.
Shout out to Mike in Junction City, our Iron Jock hoodie winner from earlier in today's show.
Oh, now, did you already write these questions, or did you get Junction City
Junction
because
City
of
was
his
inspired
victory?
by Mike, yes.
Okay, just wanted to just curious. All right, question 3, and an opportunity for a clean sweep for you, Brian, is this. Which of these up north Wisconsin towns is not located in Vilas County? Okay? Which of these 3 is not located in Vilas County? Is it Eagle River, St. Germain, or Minocqua?
St. Germain.
I gotta be honest, I'm not an up north guy, so I would not have gotten this either. But apparently Minocqua, which is the one up north place I've gone I was about 5 years old, I believe, is the correct answer. What county is Minocqua in?
This was one of the ones I wrote yesterday, and I knew it yesterday, but I do not remember. Let me look it up real quick.
That's fine.
Yep.
Question 3, Scott. Which of these Wisconsin towns is not located in Door County? Now, this one I know. So one of these 3 not located in Door County. Is it Algoma, Carlsville, or Sturgeon Bay?
Let's take a guess. Sturgeon Bay.
Oh, no. Correct answer, Algoma. Algoma.
Oh.
All right, so.
Oneida County for Minocqua, by the way. Oneida County.
Oneida County. Good to know. Learn something new every day. Brian, you got 2 out of 3. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries into tomorrow's drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Good luck, Scott.
And
That was very sportsmanlike.
He was very sportsmanlike. And since we used essentially the same verbiage for each question, I will say, Scott, you got 2 out of 3 right. That means you've got 3 out of possible 4 entries into tomorrow's drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Be good.
Nice. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
That was fun. And we still have a little time to close the show with a little Whoa Nelly. We'll do that.
Right.
No, very little. We'll do that next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. National Player of the Year.
And the game is tied. Kids magical.
Wisconsin legend.
Dump it inside. The back in. It's Kaminsky.
Frank Kaminsky joins KBN.
Who was your favorite teammate of all time?
See, it's a baiting question because you want me to say you.
On the Yuengling Legends Live.
No, I'm not.
What?
No, it's not. It's not me.
You were annoying to play with.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, now available in Wisconsin. D.G. Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Now through April 5th, when you spend $50, you get 30% off, and you get 2 free pair of socks with the code SOCKS2. That's socks and the number 2. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
An open house like no other, our Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited open house brings in product reps so you can see, touch, feel the product, and talk to the manufacturer reps directly from Pella, Sunrise, Marvin Windows and Doors, LP SmartSide, CertainTeed Roofing, TimberTech Decking, County Pavers, and Screen Rooms. Everything is here for your next project at one place, one time on Saturday, April 25th from 9 to 1 p.m. Details at sidingunlimited.com and outdoorlivingunlimited.com.
There's nothing more meaningful that you can do for yourself, your family, or your friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy time with you again, especially heading into vacation season. QC Kinetics takes care of your pain in the office, and you go right on with your day. It's that easy. If you say yes to any of these questions, you are the kind of patient that QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help every single day. If you have consistent joint pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, the pain keeps you from getting a good night's sleep. If you're missing work or saying no to activities that you enjoy, if you don't want surgery or a long recovery, and you feel like you're at the end of your rope, taking medications every day just to get through. If you answered yes to any one of those, today could be your day to turn that corner and finally get relief. With locations in Mequon and Greenfield, plus weekend appointments, QC Kinetics treatments are made easy, done in office, and you go about your day. The consultation is absolutely free, so don't wait. Give them a call today at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Calling all seafood lovers, the Lobster Salad Sub is officially back at Cousin Subs. Fresh lobster mixed with our creamy signature mayo, topped with tomato and onion, served over crisp lettuce, and finished with a sprinkle of Old Bay. All on our fresh-baked Italian bread. It's a crave-worthy classic you can enjoy in store, online, or on the app, but only through April 5th. So catch it while you can. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
seconds worth of Whoa Nelly before we go.
I'd like to issue a statement on my moon landing comments.
Oh, that's right.
Earlier
You'd like
today.
to defend yourself.
Yeah, I am not saying that I believe that the moon landing was a hoax.
Oh, you sure sounded like you did, though.
I am saying that by opting not to land on the moon this time, it gives more credence to those who believe the moon landing was a hoax, because then you could say, well, we've still never landed on the moon. Why wouldn't we go to land on the moon if we're doing...
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.